So I have turned on the recorder. The time is now 9:37 a.m. I'm going to call the meeting of the Venetian Community Development District to order. Today is Monday, December 22nd, 2025. The first item on the agenda is the call to order / roll call. Those supervisors that are present are Jill Pizarro, Cheryl Tarana, Cindy Sneezik, Ken Smaha, and Rich Goodman. On behalf of District Management, is myself, Belinda Blandon. Field Manager Keith Livermore is present. We do have Spencer Gonzalez on behalf of Landscaping Inspection Services present, and General Manager of the River Club, Greg Barker, is present. And for the record, we do have audience members present as well. The next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the public comment portion of the agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, we will limit public comments to 3 minutes per person. Keith, can you pass me the sign-in sheet, please?
Good morning, board. It is my opinion that any board member that is also a member of the golf course cannot be involved in negotiating any contract lease or purchase of the Welcome Center. There is a direct conflict of interest. Please refer to the State of Florida Code of Ethics, which you are under jurisdiction, section 112.3137. It is also my opinion any board member that was part of the previous board that had the fiduciary responsibility to oversee the finances in question by Vesta should not and cannot be part of the investigation into the possible misappropriations of funds by Vesta. Please also refer to the State of Florida Code of Ethics 112.3136, as there is a potential for misuse of office. Tree trimming along Veneto Boulevard and many side streets such as Balanza Court. Trucks as in food delivery vehicles strike the trees overhanging Veneto Boulevard and Balanza Court while traveling in that River Club with deliveries of food and staff and residents. Eventually a branch will fall, strike a car, pedestrian, golf cart, or bicycle rider. Will these trees be trimmed above the height of these vehicles? What is the status of the ornamental grasses behind Treviso and Balanza Court? Many weeds, invasive bushes, and poor cleanup of previous work does not look appealing to our residents. Would this be acceptable behind your own homes? These grasses have been neglected for years, even though they are shown on the landscape map. What is the status of the ponds behind Treviso and Balanza? Many residents have been complaining about odor and debris at the shoreline. Will the dead grasses be removed? Will the pond be inspected regularly by the board or its dedicated representative? Attach a final list of the Santa Maria sidewalks and water gutters that are in disrepair. This list is only concrete sidewalks and driveway curbs and does not include any paver area. Disrepairs include, but not limited to, broken, cracked, heaved, uneven, missing pavement, and trip hazard. Do these sidewalks meet ADA compliance? Front gates, is there a reason that the front exit gates are left in the open position most of the time? There are about 50% of the gate lights out on the resident entrance lane that are not working. Also, has any research been done to make the gates more visible to people entering and exiting the community? Perhaps multiple speed bumps before the gates will deter people from striking the gate. Also, many times the resident gate exit is left in the open position as well. Why? Thank you for addressing these concerns. And here is the list of the Balanza Treviso sidewalks.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Steve Thomaston.
Good morning, Supervisor. First off, I wanted to thank Keith for responding to an alligator emergency the other day when my neighbors came out, found that an alligator had taken up residence inside their garage. It was a lot of fun. And except when he said, "You hold the pole," I said, "No, I don't think so." but anyway, I do appreciate that, Keith. I really do. It helped out a lot. From this morning's discussion at the workshop, I want to make you aware of one item in regards to the response from the Venice Police Department. We had a similar situation in Jacksonville where I was president of the HOA up there. the city of Jacksonville would not come in and enforce traffic laws within our gated community there, and our streets were privately owned there. We ended up having a tremendous problem with the same thing that's going on here with golf carts and speeding and stuff like that. We ended up establishing an agreement with the city of Jacksonville that the sheriff's department would be able to come in there. It was a memorandum that we had an understanding, and they were able to enforce the traffic laws in there. Before that agreement could be put into effect, we did have a child hit at a school bus stop one morning, so the city was really ready to jump on board with that. It was an educational process, and what we did as a community is we hired off-duty employment for the sheriff's department deputies that would come in there periodically at an undisclosed times. And it worked really well for about 6 months, then we stopped it, and then the problem redeveloped another 6 months later. So we called them back in there. It was an expense, but it did cure the problem. And so now once a month up there still, even now they come in once a month and enforce traffic regulations within there, primarily speeding, running stop signs, and things of that item. But thank you again. We appreciate all the good work. I want to compliment the general manager. The Christmas party turned out great. Chef Brian did an absolutely fantastic job on the food and everything there, and I think everyone had a really good time. They really did. So thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you. There being no further speakers signed in, we're gonna close out public comment and move forward with our agenda.
Wait, somebody's got their hand raised?
I didn't sign up, but I
Oh.
did want to speak.
Morning.
Can I speak?
Sure.
My question is about the notice that came out about the games that
Oh,
are
right
played.
here. It's you, Carol, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Carol LaFada.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carol. Sorry, I just wanted,
Okay.
just for the record. Yeah, thanks.
All right. We've been playing these games since probably about 10 years. I have a group of about 18 people in season, or less. We've been playing on Wednesdays. There's never been a problem. If there's another function, we don't play or we play another day. But this rule that says non-residents, we have one non-resident. She used to be a resident, and when she moved out, she continued to play with us. But now it says you can't have a non-resident on Wednesday, but they can play on Monday or Tuesday. I don't get what's the difference if they play Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday?
Food operations.
Pardon?
We're open. We need to keep, there are a lot of people. I don't want to, maybe I can catch up with you after if that's okay. But it has to do with food operations, Carol.
Okay, well, we come in, and on Wednesdays, we always have lunch. I have anywhere from 4 to, last 2 weeks ago, we had a Christmas party. We had 18 people. We had a nice party, a nice lunch. 2 weeks before, we had 13 people for lunch. Usually we had between 4 and 8. And if we had to go to Monday or Tuesday, we'd be losing that business. The club would be losing the business. And I guess they don't care about our business.
No.
I just wonder, when you board make these decisions, would they ever discuss it with us beforehand rather than just coming out saying this is the way it's gonna be?
How about if I catch up with you at some point after the meeting, because we're not supposed to sort of have a dialogue, because it ends up, and that way I can address you
Okay.
directly and maybe
All
together
right,
with somebody
that'd
from,
be
is that okay, Carol?
After this meeting?
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're probably gonna be a little while, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I know where to find you. Yeah, I'll call you, Carol, thank you.
Okay. There being no further speakers signed in, we're gonna close out public comment and move forward with our agenda. So we're gonna move into committee reports. Do we have anything from racket sports?
Yes. Thanks. That's loud. I'm Mark Fafer with the Racket Sports Committee. Just want to let you know the tennis court conditions have been excellent since Matt Liverman and Michael have been hired. The residents' complaints have basically disappeared. I was getting emails, texts, phone calls every day. Some of the projects completed since Matt was hired include, but not exclusive to, he replaced or repaired 2 foot blasters to clean the clay from shoes. So hopefully that keeps a lot of the clay off the parking lots, which has been a problem. Cleaned the grates outside court 6. We inventoried most of the tennis garage. He found and added a windscreen to court 2 that was kind of hidden in the shed there. And the ice and water machine outside the tennis garage was cleaned, serviced, and repaired. So many of these projects were not routinely done or not done at all. So kudos for the hiring of Matt and Michael, super job. I know on the agenda today, there's skipping around here, River Club rules is part of the agenda. So I just want to give you a little background. Several years ago, the contract with Tennis Connection provided a teaching court to the pro all day. This was later modified to state that the teaching court must be released 3 days in advance of playtime if no lesson or clinic is booked. So our committee met 2 weeks ago today. We discussed how best to address the concerns from members who are not happy with tying up a teaching court during prime time while allowing the rackets director to earn some revenue from conducting lessons and clinics. It's the busiest time between 8 and 11 on our courts. So at our meeting 2 weeks ago, a motion was approved 5-0 to recommend adding the following to the existing tennis rule number 10. Lessons and clinics are permitted for 3 or more residents or non-resident members during prime time. Another issue is tennis rule 7. I know there's a question you have in the minutes that went out, and this is on use of the ball machine. Jonas has not been able to code the existing restrictions that we had in Club Essentials. For example, limiting people to 60 minutes, booking only 1 day in advance, ensuring only one party can reserve the ball machine at a time, which has been an issue, people showing up, multiple people trying to use the ball machine. So we have been not in compliance with our tennis rules. So what we're recommending is to suspend existing rule number 7 on the use of the ball machine until and if Jonas can resolve the long-standing multiple issues that work well with Club Essentials. Matt's going to develop an operating procedure for use of the ball machine and review it with our RSAC at a future meeting, hopefully in January. For example, how to reserve the ball machine, what hours it's available for use, when does the ball machine get put away because people are leaving it out at night and it's getting damaged. The other topic I was going to mention is the tennis and pickleball furniture update. Just by way of background, the CDD approved funding not to exceed $21,000 on September 22nd to purchase new tennis and pickleball furniture. An update, Florida Patio Furniture delivered 5 commercial 7.5-foot resort umbrellas for the tennis area and 2 umbrellas for the pool deck last Tuesday. They were inspected by Matt and Nancy and myself. The other vendor is Tropitone, and the umbrella tables, and there's 5 umbrella tables for the tennis area, 20 club dining chairs. The estimated delivery date is January 28th, as well as the round tea tables and 12 club dining chairs for pickleball area. Also have an estimated date of January 28th. So the total cost of the above new furniture is $19,171, which is approximately $1,800 below the approved cap. Matt's also getting some quotes on 2 awnings by the tennis court grandstands that are not part of this approval. One was knocked down during the hurricane, and there's scaffolding that's needed. The last item I'll mention is in the pickleball area, there's been a lot of water issues on the courts. So Joe Spallino on our committee is meeting with Juniper in January, and they're going to go through a lot of different options on perhaps how to handle this water that's kind of dripping onto the courts. That's all I have.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that the committee member should be meeting with a vendor. I don't know,
He
should
needs
we?
to meet with Keith.
Yeah.
Irrigation and.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read my notes. Let's go by. Keith is meeting with him
Okay.
and Joe.
Okay.
So if you don't want Joe to be there, that's fine, but I think you meant once.
Joe can meet with me, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, we just,
Vendor,
yeah.
but you're
I'll take
recording that
him.
meeting. I know that.
I'll take him on.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I didn't read my
That's
notes,
all.
sorry.
That works. Thanks.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to mention one thing, that the racket sports has been really good, the advisory committee, in deferring a lot of the operational decisions, like you heard Mark talking about with the ball machine, the scheduling of the ball machine and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to defer as much of the operational day-to-day business to Matt and, and Hampton, because they're the ones that got to create the SOPs to get this to work. So they've been great about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
My turn.
Just one thing, I know we got an email, I don't know if we all got it, about, the court reservations.
Oh, yeah.
I mean-
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know, okay, I'm not gonna say what it's gonna say. I think that there's a point to be had, I think there's a point to be had there. You can't, like, if you can't take 4 exercise classes, you should not be allowed to book up the same tennis court, the same court every day, 7 days a week. I don't know how that could get implemented, if it can get implemented somehow, because I don't know if they have a bot machine that's doing an auto reservation.
I had a conversation with the Jonas TTA staff, and basically what they said was, even though we have the reCAPTCHA on it, it's just a checkbox, and Jonas is not designed to have the overlay of the Google reCAPTCHA on it, which would say, okay, pick the 5 buses, right? And that's the only way.
Okay.
That's the absolute only way to be able to stop
Or
this.
we just make it a rule, and if Matt sees the same person 7 days a week,
He
he
just
takes
takes
3
them.
days off.
I agree with that, and that would be something maybe that racket sports committee
Okay,
could evaluate.
I will take that
because
back.
If we can't do it
Yes.
via technology, then we
Then-
have a
then-
rule
Yeah.
for,
Because I think it's an offshore
Yeah.
server myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's a bot.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I
exactly.
think it's an offshore server.
No,
It's
I
about
think
a
it's
fraction
local.
of a second ahead myself.
Yeah, but anyways,
But
Just to
whatever.
add on the ball machine that Mark was talking about, I think during the training with Matt and Jonas a week and a half ago, I think he was talking about designating one specific court only for the ball machine, and then
Yeah.
the reservations could be made for that specific court,
Yeah.
which should help not only loose random balls everywhere, but the timing issue of the block time for 1 hour versus 1 hour and a half.
right, right.
Okay.
So, I will bring up with RSAC then to talk about limiting you want to make it specific to how specific do you want it addressed? Or are you gonna leave it up to racket sports? Like, do you want it to be date, time, and court, or?
I would leave it up to racket sports based on the information we've been given repeatedly about
Okay.
one person getting the same
Okay.
court every day. You know the issue.
It's left to the pro.
Yeah, he'll be at the meeting.
Yeah, but
But
in
they
other
can
words,
work together.
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever seems reasonable, because like I said, I mean, you could take, you can't take more than 4 classes in
Right.
season, so you should not be able to utilize that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, very good, thank you. Thanks, Mark.
May I add one comment?
Sure.
The court's open at 7:30, reservation system, so all your keyboard warriors are trying to book the court. And the problem is, one party particularly gets court 4 every day at 9:30. Every day they won.
Yeah.
So that's one of the issues. As you get into limiting play time during prime time, you have to consider, what about people that play leagues? Leagues are during prime time, or if you take a lesson or a clinic, is that included in your limiting 3 or 4
That's
times a
the
week?
question.
There's a lot of different factors that go into this. not
That's
just-
why we want you to think about it.
We've been debating this for 3 years now
Yeah,
at our committee.
but I think that Rich brings up a good point with the fitness classes. If you're only allowed 4
Right.
fitness classes as an individual,
I mean, if you want to take, if nobody, if they want to book a tennis court at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and nobody else is, I have no problem with that. It's just, you just should not be able to book the same court, prime time, every day, 7 days a week, to the exclusion of every other resident.
It's fairness.
The only difference I see is with the fitness classes, you're paying for instructor. You're not paying for anyone,
We're paying for
we
math.
pay for
We pay for
math.
math, same difference.
but it's no incremental cost. Matt's here.
Well, Matt doesn't have to be
I
here, the same way
respectfully
instructors don't
disagree.
have to be here.
I respectfully disagree.
I would, yeah.
All right, we'll come up with some ideas. Thanks, Mark.
Landscaping?
we had a joint meeting at our last board meeting, and so we will have another joint meeting in January. And the architect is working on plans for the entrance and the main road. So we'll be discussing that next time.
Which meeting for January? Do you have a date?
The 8th, we're gonna continue, this A is a joint meeting. We're gonna continue A until January 8th.
It's very exciting, thank you.
Facilities?
Good morning. Attached for your use is the FAC agenda for the January 6, 2026 meeting. The FAC is working hand in hand with Hampton Golf to keep the appearance and working order of our facilities up to date. In the next few days, I will have a sit-down discussion with the newly hired maintenance supervisor, Ray, and the River Club GM regarding all of the open issues with the River Club maintenance and our expectations going forward. In addition, we have provided to the Reserve Committee large-scale projects that we anticipate in the near future. We will update these projections at our January 2026 meeting once our final committee members are appointed and seated, and we elect a chairperson for 2026. Some of the items we have identified to date are there are 3 AC units that need to be replaced. The geothermal system upgrade and replacement is approximately $250,000 budget. Tennis court watering control boxes, approximately $70,000. We need bids from the tennis director. Water coolers and ice machines at tennis courts and gym, we need quotes on those. Pool equipment budget quote was $52,000, and a roof maintenance contract at Hampton is to follow. Future items that we will be working on is the coordination with the La Sala upgrade/expansion and the future locker room upgrade. We understand there may also be some realignment of office space as well as an employee lunchroom development. All will try and gain much needed storage space. It is our pleasure to assist Hampton as well as any other committee when required. Have a safe, healthy New Year and enjoy the holidays with your loved ones and friends. You all received this via email. Do you want a copy now?
I'm good, you have it at the electronic version, thanks, Tim.
I have a copy. I wanted to say thank you for sending me a copy. It would be great if the rest of the committees could provide some sort of a blurb, because it's easier when I'm putting together the meeting summary so that I can just take those important details and just put them in, because as I'm taking notes, it's hard to just take notes of every single thing unless I go back to the recording. But I think it's great that we're copied on this so that I can just take snippets of it and put it in the summary that's sent out to the rest of the residents.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up committee reports and move into our staff reports.
Yes.
Spencer, good morning.
Good morning. All right, I got a big voice already, so I'll try to balance it here. I want to start off again by saying thank you for having me here. It is my pleasure to work on this property. It's quite beautiful. I like driving Veneto when I come in here and see the tree. It looks like it's been taken care of well for a very long time, and I'm happy to be a part of that. So I'm going to start with an executive summary. I don't normally read these out loud, but that we're starting this relationship, I kind of want to lay some groundwork for us. So the property is receiving its base services regularly, and that is clear. The grass is being mowed, debris are being blown, and core tasks appear solid. However, fine details like soft edging, weed suppression around smaller monuments are lacking. Some of these could be overlooked if the most visible areas, such as the River Club, did not show the same deficiencies. Juniper has a significant task ahead to have the property tightened up by April, when turf growth begins in earnest. So what do I mean by that? That means between now and April, however your property looks in April is probably how it's going to look at its best all summer. Because when things start growing, staff is going to be behind, and they're not going to have time to go get ahead of what they're doing. So that's, as a community, as residents, that's what we're looking for, is how are we making progress to April? So it's understood that Juniper has inherited this property without a bid as part of the acquisition, and that the current condition of the site is not the responsibility of the present team, or maybe they shouldn't be as accountable. Responsibility is not the right word there. Time will tell if they can turn it around, but since the scope was never estimated by the current staff, it will likely need to be rebid under Juniper's policies and processes so the team can be fully accountable for their performances. Juniper has correctly stated that no new plant material should be installed until irrigation is restored. In the meantime, vegetation management, irrigation repairs, and proper tree trimming and mulch are essential to building future success. These tasks are like basic health habits, exercise, balanced diet, and core responsibilities that often get pushed aside but are foundational. It is best to budget for these essentials first, before considering out-of-scope enhancements such as new shrubs or aesthetic upgrades. Okay. I also want to circle back around and say that Juniper is doing a good job. I'm not putting Juniper down. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of education as someone who's driven labor before and understands the really big task he has ahead of him, how we should set expectations. My goal is to get us up to a base standard and then raise the standard again, and raise the standard again, and indefinitely. We're never going to stop improving. But this is where we are right now. We kind of all have a clean slate. I'm new, he's new. From what I understand, this board has not been here forever. So that's a good time for us to all come together and really, make some big progress. All right, back into the meat. So you have some poorly installed trees up on Laurel. Right now there's a lot of plastic and wrap and things like that that are in the crotches of the tree. That's bad. Plastic will eventually get enveloped into the bark, and you're going to start these new trees with essentially like cancer right in the middle of it, because it's going to decay around that plastic right in the middle towards the bottom of the trunk. So if you think of these big trees over here that are 30, 40 feet tall, imagine only 6 feet or 4 feet or 3 feet in the middle of that piece of plastic rotting away the wood over time. That's how you get, big limb failures, is because something inside there started dying and you just don't see it. Normally by the time the outside of the tree looks bad, you already have problems inside the tree. Think of it like your skin and hair. By the time it's falling out, you have something going on the inside. I saw some dead grass on Laurel from where they're parking the truck while it's on, burning the grass, moving it to another spot, and you have 2 other spots where engines were clearly, heating up the grass right there. So make sure your trucks are off whenever you're parked on the turf. Everything else is pretty standard. Nothing, that you're going to have a revelation over. Some browning plants, some weeds that need to be pulled, things like that. But this will get longer. It'll probably be, I like to keep between 35 and 45 items, so it's not overbearing. You can get through it, and enough so you guys know that I was here, covering the whole community. That's all I have. Thanks.
Are you going to start getting us those written reports like John used to do?
It just came out.
It just
yesterday.
came out.
So,
Yeah,
real quick, yeah, I'm coming one more time this month to get you guys on the proper schedule. With the holidays and the switch, there was kind of like a delay in weeks. So I'm coming again this week, so that way you'll have some time for your community meeting in January.
Okay.
Cool, great, thank you, that was really,
Thank
That's
you.
what it says.
that was really helpful. It was
Let me
great.
just double check that you were on that email. Rich just.
We all were.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
That was really helpful.
Yes.
Any questions for Spencer?
No, thank you very much.
But I have a question for Juniper.
Yeah.
Can I ask a Spencer question
Sure,
first?
sure.
Yeah. Do I need that? I can shout, I'm pretty good at that. You mentioned something very interesting about the Phoenix State palms and the way they get, or the medulls, or the way they get planted, and I think you were talking about bracing.
Yeah.
Can you reiterate what you said? Because Keith and I were talking about some trees that needed to be braced, and I'm wondering, is that really what we should be doing, or is that just an unnecessary expense?
Yeah, so bracing is keeping it in place where you want it. It's already there, you're not correcting it. If you're correcting it, if the tree's already established, you're probably wasting your money as it is. So you have a couple of these, we'll use these crooked trees in your islands as an example. It's a huge expense to uproot that tree, tilt it if it's already established, brace it again, and then hope they install it correctly so it doesn't tilt again. You're essentially relocating a tree in the same hole. You have a lot of irrigation issues, you have a lot of other things, a fence, things that sound like are pretty pressing to spend money on. I wouldn't relocate trees in the same hole they already exist in and brace them. If you're trying to reposition a tree, usually that's gonna be with guy wires, stakes, and you're going to pull, and you're gonna use a come-along device to slowly, incrementally move the tree where it needs to be. Once something has been set and existing in wind conditions for a year, 2 years, that tree is, I don't have a better word, but kind of calcifying itself right there in that position to handle the historical winds that have been hitting it. To move them again, you're kind of need to retrain the tree for a couple more years.
Okay. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Any other questions for Spencer?
I think so.
My question for Juniper. So in light of all that, and I know you guys are new here, but you've got the account and we've got a lot of issues, even down to like all those trees that we paid a fortune to LMP for, which I know you guys kind of inherited. Right out here in the front, what are we gonna do about everything and how are we gonna get everything fixed? And what's the plan?
We are working on a property audit to start off, give you a basis, grounds for how everything looks. And then we'll just, like one at a time, we're gonna work through LMP's deficiencies.
So when you finish the property audit,
Yes.
who will you be sending that to?
We'll be sending it to Keith. And then
Perfect.
We'll share it with all of you.
Thank you.
And is there something we can do?
Yeah, I think I shut it off, Rich. I'm
Is there
sorry.
something we can do with the magnolias out here in the front? They were put in, when they were put in, they were tall, scraggly, and expensive, ridiculously expensive. I think they were $3,600 each one of those magnolias were $3,600. Those look like something I wouldn't even put in a Home Depot parking lot. And it's now been 2 years and they still look terrible. Is there something we can do with those? I mean, fertilize them, trim them,
I personally
do something
fertilized them
instead of
myself.
horrible.
Yes, I fertilized them myself. This was maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Can they be trimmed or something a little bit to start hopefully promoting some more growth, because they're just tall and scraggly and they just, what can be done? They just look terrible.
Let me run this by our arborist, and I'll also talk to Spencer, because he's a tree guy,
Okay,
and we'll give you an update.
okay, thank you.
Plus, Brian is doing the plan. I don't know I can't remember if those even stay in the plan or if they get moved.
I thought they got moved.
Yeah,
I think they get moved.
but we don't know what plan we're going with, so until that happens, we should at
Right,
least.
but I think the fertilization, that'd be great.
That was done by me.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Andrew.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Juniper or Spencer? Thank you. Okay, so Andy has not arrived yet and neither has Rick, so I think we'll jump into the River Club. Rick, do you have anything to report?
Just a few things. First, I'll say thank you to Andrew and his Juniper team. About 3 weeks ago, they came and took almost two full truckloads of excess bushes and trimmings, cleaned up the front property tremendously. Somebody, Tim Carr had mentioned Ray Williams started, and he started a week ago today. His first 2 days he was here, I did have Miguel on property and helped with a tremendous amount of cleaning, dead bugs and moss and spider webs that were all in the back towards the pool area. I think you'll see a big difference in how that looks. We're not where we need to be, but it helped give Ray a good jump start. Several events over the last 30 days and went quite well. The Ugly Sweater event this weekend. We had a good brunch with Santa yesterday. We had a full house for the astronaut Sunita Williams, who was here. Went very well. Great member turnout and feedback. Some positions we're still looking to add. We need one additional person at the reception desk. A lead server to help with Luciano and managing. Anthony has decided to stay. And some of you knew that he had put in notice he's going to stay with us. And the same thing as the facilities young man who works with Matt had some hesitations put in his nose, but he has changed his mind and he has also decided to stay. Yeah, Mike.
That's
great
great.
news,
Oh,
too.
that's great.
Yay.
No, that's a really valuable thing because that training out there. Some of the things that I'm trying to help understand and work through is hours of operation and expectations. I've heard a lot of comments and commentary about Mondays and Tuesdays and tiki bar hours and in season versus off season and takeout and to-go food and just a lot of different thoughts and processes. So maybe we could sidebar and kind of work through some of those details.
Yeah, I mean, we still never had, I keep going back to, we've never had our real conversation with Greg, which I think we really, meeting, not meeting, whatever, we need to have a dedicated 2 hours.
Yeah.
To really hash through what Greg thinks, what Bill may think, what Hampton thinks, what we think, try to come up with a plan so we don't keep going over this every 3 weeks.
Right.
We should talk to Greg and discuss this, and because we did it, I mentioned with Kelso, that never happened, and I don't want to have happen to Greg, happen here. I want us all to be on the same page, and then you and Greg talk, not all of us think about what we should think about, and everybody else think about what they think about, and we need a consensus.
Why don't we dedicate a workshop?
That's fine.
That's probably the only way we're gonna be able to agree
January
with it.
8th.
January 8th, let's just
January
make the whole workshop.
January 8th, that'd be great.
Okay, so you have an hour with all of us.
Well, and that will give me time to, you write a budget and then
Right.
work your hours around the budget, or you set your hours of operation and then you write budget. So to me, looking at what the expectations are and trying to understand how to fulfill those expectations, I'll do a much deeper dive before the January 8th workshop and lay out some templates with some pro formas to kind of show you where we land on staffing different areas and different days and what the cost really entails. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that'd be very helpful. Yeah, decisions.
That's it for me.
Okay, I got a quick question for you. The pool furniture, there seems to be some major wear and tear on some of the Shea lounges. Is there any way you could have somebody from maintenance?
Well, just our luck that we have a maintenance person that's gonna focus on that, and he started a week ago. He's already started taking a look at some of the pool furniture
Okay,
to see what needs to be fixed, what can be fixed, how it can be better maintained. Because you would know better than I do, it hasn't been maintained,
right,
and there hasn't been anybody really paying attention to that.
right.
With the tennis young man who started about 3 weeks ago, he's busy with Matt pretty much 3 to 4 hours
Yes,
every
that
day
makes sense.
at the tennis court.
Right.
So, and then he's off Fridays and Saturdays are the days that he's requested to be off, but he's here 5 days a week in 8 hours. So Ray is gonna fill in and kind of work an opposing schedule. So we always have one facilities person, but Ray's main focus will be on the clubhouse and the pool.
So, check the warranty, that's all Tropitone furniture.
Yes.
Perfect.
And those slings are warranted for a certain number of years, I
Yeah.
can't remember, because I had mine replaced at my house.
Okay, yeah, so
And
these,
so
we got
he
like
needs to check
20,
that.
some of this stuff's 21,
It is
22,
on.
if I remember correctly. And then the other thing is, I would, if the board's not opposed, would like to work with you to help rewrite the contracts for the instructors because they expire on December 31st.
Yes, please.
So I skipped that on my
Oh, you
summary.
did?
I skipped that on my summary because I didn't want to get too into the weeds with that.
Okay,
But I think that's a fantastic idea to really evaluate, assess, we'll look at historical, fiscal
As long-
responsibility and burden that the club supports. We have had some challenges onboarding independent contractors through the payroll
Right.
process. Cindy in our corporate office was amazing. She put together a 4-step plan for each one of the instructors to onboard with their W-9s, their proof of insurance. And she created an invoice for each one of them, so they were submitting a uniform invoice. But that wasn't actually followed, but we did overnight checks to several fitness instructors who did not go through the right onboarding
right,
strategy. So everybody who is an instructor who had back pay, both from Vesta and from the last 90-ish or a little less than 90 days of Hampton, have all been caught up to speed.
great, thank you.
But that won't be a standard, the overnighting of checks to make sure, but
Yeah.
it was kudos to Cindy and her team for making that happen. So all the instructors are current before the holidays.
So yeah, so we just need to sit down and make sure that we get the new contract rolled out, and as long as no one objects, I can work with Greg to make that happen.
That'd be great.
Great, thank you.
I
Okay,
have two questions. First one is, thank you for the financial reports because they are actually
haven't looked.
normal financial reports. Like,
No,
yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to read them and it's easy to see what's going on now, for me
Yes.
anyway.
Yep.
Second thing is, what's going on with billing? And I'm getting members saying to me, haven't got a
Yeah,
bill,
I'm one
can't
of them.
figure out how to pay.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, so what's going on with that?
That's a great question. And I'll tell you why. There are a lot of intricacies that are above my pay grade when it comes to servers and communication back and forth between old servers and new servers and firewalls, whether Jonas is interfacing with the server. One of the anomalies that I know that we're facing in our billing department at Hampton, we've actually set up a dummy account. So when they're mailing out the invoices and the bills, they're making sure to confirm they're actually going through, and they are. So I can tell you that we've got Steve Giger, Justin Kuhn, people from our billing and payroll department all working on the problem. I know Rich has had some emails going back and forth with Justin and different people. Would you like to help me explain some of the confusion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing this, they've got everybody working on it, so they're trying to figure out what's going on, because I get every other Hampton email except my bill. So there's obviously some issue, so it's not like my email address is not accepting Hampton. There's something intricate, to the billing system somehow, somewhere. Because they had issues with a lot of other people. Some people started getting their bill. They fixed some things. Some people started getting bills. Some people are still not. I'm still one of the people still not. I check my spam. I check everything. They're not coming through at all. But like I said, I get every other Hampton email. There's sometimes 3, 4, 5 a day. I get all those, but I don't get my bills. So I know they're working on it, and they can't figure it out, but my suggestion would be to make sure accounting be very diligent to anybody who's past due, because I'm on auto pay, so I don't care if I don't do it. But for people who need to have the bill and then get paid by check, you should make sure that those people are reached immediately each month until this thing is really resolved, to make sure that we don't start getting delinquencies and affect cash flow.
Right, and Jessica Rodriguez has been working hand in glove with me, because I'll tell you even 2 different scenarios that happened. People who didn't get their bill, they came in and dropped off a check, and then within a week, it was automatically also withdrawn from their account. So, and within 30 minutes, I'd be on the phone with Jessica working through it, and then she would credit back their account. So in the interim, I saw a sign up on the wall about contacting Jessica Rodriguez. People can contact me and I'll reach out to her, but you're right. Making sure that the ones that don't show up as delinquent, and they've also have not been charging or processing late fees for those people. Because we know there's a grace period, and I can only tell you that there's a lot of people on Hampton Golf side working to figure out the problem.
It comes from a different server is the issue, and it's probably gonna take one-by-one solutions to get it ultimately working.
Which is, I think it's just important that we make sure that who's not paid to be touched as quickly as possible, but they're not on auto pay yet.
Yeah.
Because, not saying anybody's doing anything maliciously, but out of sight, out of mind, and if I don't get a bill, I forget to pay it.
Right.
I wish I had a better answer and say it was resolved, but I can tell you that it's being looked at.
They've resolved some.
Yeah, some have been resolved.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So regarding the financial statements, again, thanks for getting them out. That was a great start. I've got a ton of questions as we were communicating last night. I don't know how the best way to approach it is, because you've got 5 people who may or may not have questions as well. I don't know if it makes sense to have a call with Carol or somebody who can, if you and I sit down and go through them, I think 90% of the questions you're not going to be able to answer.
Okay.
Because they're not specifically operational, like this invoice or that invoice. They're not, they're more, some structural, some what's in these accounts
Right.
and there's budgets and no expenses.
I had
As
that
the-
conversation
As
with
the
Bill.
finance reserve liaison,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be appropriate for you to work with them?
Yeah,
One-on-one
I
and
was
do
suggesting
that?
that last night.
I actually sat down with Bill yesterday, we discussed that very thing, that the charts of accounts have changed, and they're gonna actually rerun the financials going back to past year in the format today, so we can start have historicals of what the accounts are. We had new accounts that had no budgets, we had budgets that have no costs now, and we don't, without knowing what happened to us, so they're gonna go back and rerun last year's. So for budget purposes, we'll have it trailing 12.
Maybe you and I can sit down at some point.
Absolutely. What we're actually gonna do is remap the historicals to our GL chart of accounts,
Okay,
which is
great.
gonna be a manual process. It'll help the aesthetics in terms of eyeing up the financials to see what's actually changed by account. So this expense went up or down, it'll be a little bit cleaner.
Because in some of its cases, it looks like normal monthly charges are not there, but they may be someplace else.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So we need time to look at it. The good news is, and unfortunately, it's sort of the evolution of a new account. We see this
Sure.
every time. So over time, things.
But it may
clean up.
help if somebody who's looked at these every month for years can sit with somebody and say, hey, have you thought of this, or where is this, or, just some of it's structural, some of it's, just a question of, is something missed or is it just someplace else?
Absolutely.
I don't know who the right person is for me to contact.
In our construct, we usually start those conversations with the general manager. The general manager will then pull in accounting to look at anything that we need to reclass or move around. The first step here is to understand, looking at Vesta's chart of accounts, where would that fit in our chart of accounts? So we move those expenses around manually on a remap. Then you can see any departmental changes. And then, we just need to, we're not into a cadence yet on some of the recurring charges, certainly not October, which was our first month.
Yeah, right.
So those recurring charges will start to stick out a little bit more if we've missed something, and it does happen.
Yeah.
Invoices don't get processed on time. We have certain accruals that the accountants have to make manually. So that cleans up over time. I will say that Carol was very satisfied that we had a clean financial coming out of October. She was able to pull in all of the things that were supposed to be there. She did not expect any radical changes. I went through, a good example of what you're talking about is we have $18,000 for the tennis courts against a zero budget.
Right.
That's probably budgeted somewhere.
It is.
We just need to figure out, move it to that line item. So we can go back and where we've made some entries, we can move those to the accounts where it's actually budgeted. And where there are some differences between our GL chart of accounts and Vesta's, we'll try to remap their information to our GL chart of accounts so that you can see the historical against the monthly.
Yeah, and there are some, and there are some things that we specifically broke out. So we can see them that looks like now they've been combined with other.
And we can change that as well.
So.
How long do you think it will take to
You want me
clean
to start
that
with
up?
you?
Yeah, start with me, like he said.
It'll take a while. It's going to be a manual process to remap the financials in Excel, so that it'll take a little while. The good news is once we get into a cadence and we understand where everything goes, in a year's time, everything's perfectly clean. And the other good news is we beat budget by $65,000 in October. So that should be awesome.
That's a wonderful thing.
So my question about timing though, I'm sorry, is it gonna, to be, you're not gonna be 100% comfortable, but to be 80 to 90% comfortable, is it gonna take a month or 2 months to kind of get this remapped and get the historical stuff?
I say it'll take three
Because
cycles.
Then what I would love to say is maybe the first workshop in April, I would love to have that workshop be dedicated to financial review. Because we need to understand this very carefully before we start running into budget. So if it's gonna take 3 months, that gives you 3 months. First meeting in April is second week. I would love to dedicate the workshop to that, and because
we all need to be on the same page, that's the only way to do it.
Exactly, and I told Bill, I said, we really needed that for budget cycle, and I actually told him March, to try to to push it, so in case things slipped. I said, but we also, because we need time to sit and review it and understand it as well, so I said, really by the end of March, so we're right on, we're right on board with that, because I said, yeah, if we don't have history, if we don't have historicals, we can't do budget, and even though Vista's numbers were bad, at least there was something.
Right.
And we have to work off of that.
So, yeah, I got two questions, two comments. First comment is to Greg in regard, thank you. In regard to the tennis fees, the guest fees. Those have not been booked, I believe, since October. And I had sent a couple of emails to Justin. Would you be so kind as to follow up with Justin and find out where that is at? So we've got October and November that need to book from the guest fees. And if you need the information, either myself or Mark can get it to you. My second question is to Bill. So these financials are coming out of the Hampton software. The Jonas software used to manage and maintain, this is where Vesta had booked all their expenses and everything. Are you no longer using that portion of the Jonas module to feed expenses to? Now, I'm assuming that you're using it obviously for accounts receivable and billing and all the chits and everything, but the expense side is not being used. Do you anticipate using the expense side of the Jonas module at this point?
No, we do not. So Jonas integrates with QuickBooks Online, so the revenue dumps in every day.
Yes. Okay.
Obviously, the inventories are accrual accounting, so that's a manual process.
Correct.
The labor comes out of paychecks. That's how we process labor, and that gets pulled into the financials every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if you were looking at the interim financials through the 10th day of the month, you may or may not see any payroll at all. So you're going to see the payroll load as payrolls are run.
Okay.
The expenses run through a system we use called Automate. That's also semi-integrated, so it takes an accountant pushing a button to push expenses over from Automate into our QuickBooks Online. So it doesn't, you can't get an expense automatically through to the payment process. So at any given moment, Greg can run a report in Automate that shows where we are in expenses.
Sure.
We can still run reports out of Jonas to see where we are in revenue.
Right.
And he has access to payroll reports on the interim, so we can see where we are month to date. So we always have that information available, but we do not have any plans to use Jonas to actually create the financial statements.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. I was just asking, and I'm just wondering then, we had paid for that module. Is there any opportunity to turn that off and possibly recoup or reduce the cost on the monthly fees for Jonas?
I believe that's already in the works. I don't know if there's an added expense.
Okay.
But I believe, because we have a longstanding and good relationship with Jonas. So our needs, they understand them well, but I made a note and we'll confirm that.
Okay, great, thank you.
My question is, tailor that, do we have access to any of that information as we did with Jonas? And when we all interviewed the folks, from Hampton, one of the questions that was there was, do you use Jonas for operation and whatever? And yes, And the answer was yes, we use Jonas for 16 clubs. Now we find out you're really not using Jonas for the operational side of it, for the finance stuff. It would have been nice to have known that up front. To have those discussions before things just got turned over without discussing with us. But like I said, do we have access to that, our records? Because if it wasn't for getting access into Jonas, we probably wouldn't have found out what happened, what's going on with Vesta.
You have access to Greg anytime you need it on any information that you want. He has full access right here in this building to the expenses, the payroll, the revenue. We cannot give you access to QuickBooks Online as a non-employee. That's just a hard no from our CFO, but we can work with you. Our intent is 100% transparency, and we'll pull any report at any time you want to see it.
Perfect.
And I realize it'll take time and some cycles to really get comfortable with trust. I can't speak to how the misunderstanding may have come up with how we use Jonas. We use Jonas as a point of sale system, so we use it for the member billing. We use it for daily operations, it's a point of sale, all the revenues going through there. So that may have been the interpretation of the question, but we've never used it for running the actual financial statements, and it doesn't integrate with our AP processing system.
Okay.
I think the information you're going to see coming out of Automate is going to be more timely than what you would have seen coming out of Jonas, because that would have been a manual interface. And now, a lot of these invoices go into Automate as vendors are sending directly in, and they don't get approved until the department head codes them, and then Greg reviews them and approves them. Then they go to accounting, and they don't get paid until an accountant makes sure that account is properly set up, it's a legitimate vendor, and they push it over to the financial statements. But they're already in Automate, so at any given time, Greg can run a report for you that shows everything we have in Automate.
Greg went through the checks and balances with me. It's a very closed loop.
It's
It's
a lot
impressive.
tighter, it's a lot
It
tighter
is,
through Automate
it is
than it is through
impressive,
Jonas.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
And I'm just bringing it up as, we hired you guys and this has nothing against Hampton. It's just that after the experience we had, I just want to make sure that we have some more controls as a board to make sure that things are being done right, because I don't want, and I'm not saying you, but, if there's a bad employee out there potentially, I just want to make sure that, that things don't happen.
There's an audit process that will prevent that from happening. I sat down and spent a half an hour with Greg talking about how that whole process works. And from an audit perspective, there's enough traps.
And speaking of audit, actually, so a little side thing, total financials. What kind of audit are we getting from our accountants? Is it a compilation review? Or is it a full audit? Do we know? Because a lot of stuff that I'm finding should have been caught by an audit. If it's just a review, probably not. Do we have any idea what we're
I
getting?
can send you a copy of the scope. I'm not sure whether or not your total audit includes your total review of every single invoice. I know they review general ledgers, they ask a lot of questions, there's a process involved, but it's not to the extreme point where they're reviewing every single transaction.
No, it's not an operational audit like that.
It's a simple operational audit, but it's not
So
typical forensic style. No.
So it's probably just a review.
Yeah.
Which is take whatever information I have and just, okay.
Yeah.
And procedures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
It's not-
There's a lot that goes into
If
it.
they're
because
not a
they-
detail.
If they're reviewing procedures, then there's a lot of procedures that they should have picked up on, because,
I don't think it's that in depth.
Mhm.
okay.
They do
It's a
request a
governmental
lot of
audit.
information, a lot of information was requested from Vesta whenever they have questions, but, we did run into some issues during the last audit because there was a lot of invoices that they could not provide.
Exactly, that's, yeah. Yeah.
So Rich, I'll do the same thing with you that I did with Cindy, and we'll sit down for 20 or 30 minutes, and I'll show you the trail or the tracking of what happens when an invoice comes in.
Okay.
And the eyeballs that look at it and approve it. It's really a 3-step process. So, and then all that information will be stored and saved. Like Bill said, I can run a report and show you expenses pretty much at any time.
Bill, are the financial statements available in Excel?
Yeah, we can have those downloaded in Excel.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I ask the same question every month. I like to get into it. PDFs are great. I just can't work with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So anytime you want to see them in Excel, just let us know. We'll make
Yeah,
sure.
every time.
Every time?
You can,
So we'll-
How
send
did I
us,
know you were going to say that?
send us the PDF, we can send us financials, send them PDF and Excel, so we have both.
You got it. I'll get those updated for you.
I just want to say quickly too, in addition to making budget, I mean, it was almost a 20% increase in sales over food sales over prior year, which I think is a testament to a number of things. We have a great chef and we have a great team. So I really wanted to use that to say, the team is working really hard. I think you have some great hires and
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're getting it.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Both of you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Does the board think you're done with me? Because I got a
think
long drive to Virginia in front of me. So
Yeah.
Drive safely.
Yeah, safe trip.
I want to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Yeah, you
Great
too.
weekend.
Happy holiday.
Thank you very
Again,
much.
Thanks for having me this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for your
Back
help.
soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
I'm safe.
Yep.
Hopefully there won't be a Nikita there when you get there.
There's not.
Nikita puppy?
Once my wife found out it was $4,000, that conversation.
They go take 95. It'll be nobody on it.
Somehow I doubt that. Thanks, everyone. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's gonna be much frightening.
Too funny, all right.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Andy joined us at 7:17 a.m. So we're gonna move backwards and go into district council's report. Andy, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just a couple of items to follow up on. I sent the board let me back up. That's done. So notified Darren Kwan that we weren't going to be moving forward with him any further. He sent me the remainder of the retainer. I gave the check to Belinda this morning. It's $120, I think, was what we got left. It was a $1,000 retainer. And then at the same time, I reached out to some of my counterparts and was given the name of the Prohibney and Tilden law firm, and I sent the board members separately the engagement correspondence from them. So just looking for some direction. They are $425 an hour.
How comfortable are you with them? Have you spoken to them?
Oh, yes, I spoke with
And they really, because they talked a lot about construction and vendor, but I don't know if this is really appropriate. They seem to be a small firm, and I try to, look at the website.
They are a small firm. I spoke with Mike Prohibney at length.
Yeah, because when you go to Prohibney on the website, you click on it, it doesn't go anywhere, so you can't see what his background is.
I saw his background, I thought, but I spoke with him at length, and one of my law partners, Maggie Mooney, had utilized them for a few pieces of litigation and recommended them.
Okay.
So I have just a couple of questions. One being, could we engage them and also have checkpoints in the process? Like, I don't want this to get, suddenly we spend $20,000 and we still don't know what the problem is. I would love to have checkpoints and say, okay, you've completed your evaluation, or you've hit a certain dollar amount, and give us an update now on what's going on and what we can expect.
Sure. I mean, as you noticed, probably they did not require a retainer. So we're just hourly with them at $4.25 an hour, and absolutely, I think that's.
That could go pretty fast, yeah.
I think what we discussed at first was just really meeting with them and having a quick conversation about the aspects of, this is what we think we have. Well, there's two parts of this. There is the expenses and there's, misuse of expenses and our record keeping. So we have two parts of it. The record keeping, I think we need to pursue regardless, because that has to get done. The question is, does that get pursued legally with us, or do we just notify the DVPR and let them deal with it? I think that might be it, but, and again, I think with the advisory council, the conversations are, do we go legal on our side? Do we go DVPR and do a criminal? And probably within 5 hours time, make decisions. Okay, this is what we found. This is what we see. Is it worth, if what we see in 6 months is extrapolated over for the last 4 years, and it potentially is $200,000, is it worth going forward? And then come back to the board and make decisions. I don't want to spend, I'm not looking to go forward and spend $20,000. I want to have like a 5-hour conversation over some information and some strategizing to then come back and make decisions on a go forward process.
So this will be you and Andy and the firm, okay?
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, great approach.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that, and I feel
Agreed.
better.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm good with that.
So yeah, if the board's so inclined, I would work with Rich and Mike Prohibney and start some.
Because like you said last time, the last meeting, if we win on part of it, but we don't win the other part, we'll just start saying, okay, you pay your fees, and if we lose, especially if we lose attorney fees in the process, I would say, that's a non-starter for me personally.
Right.
I'm not looking to spend more residents' money without 100% guarantee or 99% guarantee we're going to do legal fees if we really do pursue it. but the criminal side of it and the DPPR side of it may give us some restitution somehow, or potential.
So what do we need to do to go forward with the DPPR?
Well, I think the conversations we've been having, at least from my end, was that let's wait until we get this person, whether it's this law firm or another, on board to give us proper advice before we did something that might potentially compromise, I
Okay.
think is a good word, what they would be trying to do. So I wanted them, whomever it is, but let's assume it's this firm, to have the total picture and tell us, yes, go do this, or don't go do this yet. I don't want to do anything to compromise what their strategy might be.
And do you think they can accomplish this in 5 hours?
It was a conversation. I mean, I think within 5 hours time, we'll have an idea of where we're going to then come
Okay.
back to the board and say, look, this is,
And I did have a conversation with Mike already, and I explained to him the challenges that we're having, which is if we knew that the damages were whatever, $300,000, then we would make a decision, is it worth pursuing for $300,000, et cetera. But I said, we don't know what we don't know yet, and that Rich
Okay.
has uncovered a little bit of information, which potentially could be the tip of the iceberg. And that the records are not I won't even say perfect order, are not in order.
Uh-huh.
And if they were, then we would know more. And so I explained to him some of the challenges.
I mean, just an example, one thing that I have not been able to find is people had credit cards. Stephanie had one, Bernard had one,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I can't find in Jonas a payment to a credit card company. I can't find a copy of the credit card statements from a credit card company. I checked, it was First Horizon, then they stopped. I checked under Visa, there's nothing listed in Jonas. I checked under bank services, there's something, bank card services. I checked every combination, and I've even started just going through every chart of account of everything to find a statement. I can't find a credit card statement.
Wow.
And I can't find a check to a credit card company. Were they doing wire, were they just pay ACHs? And then, but I can't find all the bank statements. The bank statements are hard. And then even looking at the bank statements, they have bank statements where they did bank reconciliation in August of 2025 that still have open checks from 2021. There's open checks from 2021 still showing up on bank recs that have never been cleared out. So it's like, what kind of records were these people keeping? Where are they? What's going on? I mean, it's a mess. So I can't even tell you what was spent because I can't find it. And to find our own credit card statements missing, and I can't find a check for it.
And I sent the board some information with regards to statute of limitations questions that we had. Obviously, Mr. Purvey or whomever we retain would have to give us, final word on that. But we did not find anything specific to a DPPR action in terms of a year, a month, or anything like that. So we can take a look at that as well. And as I surmised at the last time we met, that the 4 years on fraud is from when you discovered it or should have discovered it.
Okay.
With an outside of 12 years, which we're obviously well within.
So when you talk to the firm, and maybe it's more of a question for you, Andy, if we decide for whatever reason, we want to focus on DBPR, that's something that we don't need somebody specialized to do, because I personally think we need to do DBPR regardless.
Yeah, we probably don't.
Okay.
But again, as I said, I didn't want to do anything that compromise.
Oh, no, I
our
understand,
strategy.
I understand.
So-
Cool.
So if you're so inclined to just be looking for a motion to authorize, I don't know if you want to have the chair or Mr. Goodman execute the engagement correspondence.
I think the chair should execute the
Right,
correspondence.
you're the,
And then,
yeah, sure, that I agree, yeah.
Okay, so the motion to authorize our chair to execute engagement correspondence.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All right, any other discussion?
That's the right approach.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you bring that up? Of course you did. Okay. So with that, I'll have some input with regards to our ongoing discussions with the rules and such, but that's the only main item I had, but yes.
I have one question. Since we've had public comment twice saying that prior board members cannot be a part of this conversation, could you please give us a legal response for the record so that we are addressing that concern?
Which conversation, because we've had about two
Oh,
different
well,
conversations.
I know, Belinda has it in writing. Belinda, could you show Andy that written
Part
letter
of the
from?
Vesta conversation or the Welcome Center conversation?
I have it too.
Welcome Center, I think we're clear on.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke.
It's the best conversation.
Okay, so I spoke about I'll just briefly spoke about the Welcome Center conversation, and to me, as I said at the last meeting, it's a question when you're looking at the ethics opinions as to how attenuated the private gain is to the individuals. And so there, again, we'll see where that transpires, but right now, I think that there's no conflict. With regards to the Vesta issue, I don't see any conflict. I mean, the ethics opinions, as I said, talk about does something inure to the special private gain of somebody, and if it does, again, getting back to how attenuated it is, then you potentially have to recuse yourself and file a Form 8B, is what they call it. And I don't see how this inures to the special private gain, and, you know, it's something that the board is investigating because some potential issues have been raised by Supervisor Goodman and other board members, and I don't see the conflict.
Okay. Plus, what specifically, what was said was, referring to State Florida Code of Ethics 112.313 subpart 6, and I actually just went through this weekend, because I went through one of the things, potential misuse of office, which to me doesn't even connect. There's no misuse of office here. I'm not voting my nephew's landscaping company.
Typically, that is what it refers to with potential misuse of office is, like you said, something, the touchstone is always special private gain. So as you said, you're using your office to get a better deal on tires for your car, or you're hiring your son's landscape company for, that's a nepotism issue, things along those lines.
Right.
Yes, I don't see this as a misuse of office.
I just wanted it on record because it's come up twice in public comment and
Understood. No, I appreciate the comments, but that's the way I see it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So I did have one quick question on, there was a back and forth late last week about, I guess I'll call it games of chance in the River Club. And I checked back through my email, and I think you and I may have spoken in October. Because I've been asked by the Community Association if they could have a 50-50 to fundraise. And I don't have it in writing from you, but I told them that I spoke to you, now this is me talking and not you, that they couldn't do a 50-50.
Okay. And I'm not disputing what conversation.
No, but I guess, I think.
But we did.
It's for sake of consistency then, whatever it is Carla continuing to look into?
Carla did look into it, and I sent you an email that we do not see a blanket prohibition.
Okay.
Your concern was wherever it came from, and it may have come from you, Jill, okay?
Yeah.
Your concern was that there was some sort of statement that public building can't do it.
Right.
We do not see any blanket prohibition in that respect.
Yeah.
I will tell you that whether it's 50-50 and bingo, which we actually can't do bingo on with the CDD, but all of those games of chance have certain rules laid out in the statute that you have to follow.
And they have to be a 501c fill in the
Correct,
there's 2 or 3 of them. So I guess then the corollary, or not corollary, but the next question for me then is, so then if we allow it, does it put the onus on us to say, you can do it, but we need to see your certificate?
I think that would be a reasonable request. Sure.
Okay.
We need to make sure that you're in compliance with the statutory requirements. Sure.
So then that's part of the, if you will, the single sheet, if the River Club is booking a private event and it's, the
just like
Hells Angels of America.
Was going to serve alcohol.
You're not a 501c3.
We want to know, do they have the proper insurance in place?
Because I think that's.
Yeah, so for me, it was consistency because when the golf club, for instance, which is not a 501c3, has like their dinner here for the member guests, They have 50/50s and raffles all night long. And is that okay? And we've always just not even addressed it, and so I just want to be.
I think we just need to make sure, and I don't have that statute in front of me, but they would need to comply. And there's certain things, the way the tickets have to be done and the way the money has to go back, all sorts of different requirements with how you conduct some games of chance. But the initial question of, hey, we're public, does that mean you can't do any of these?
Right.
We did not find any blanket notice.
So then, as long as if Greg's team, has something I would hopefully give to anybody wanting to book a private event, yada, yada, and we'll talk about
Make
that in the
sure that
rules.
you're booking
Should
it.
say, if you're doing one of these, you need to provide us with
X, Y, Z.
and agree that you will follow the rules.
Yeah. Yes.
As laid out in the statutes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. That solves a lot of problems.
Okay. That's what we're here
You
for.
can do 50/50 if you're a 501c, whatever.
501c3.
Again, no, it's not just 3 either. I think there's a couple of numbers.
If that's what the statute says.
I'm not a lawyer, don't think.
And I don't have it in front of me, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for Andy? No?
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy.
Keith, do you have anything to report?
Yes, good morning. Real quick, so I can get these two going.
Yes.
I have requested, I got 3 bids for pruning and cleaning up the oaks. And it goes from 88,206 down to 38,400 down to 22,302.
That's quite a spread.
Quite a straight. So I asked Zach and his, and so I had to take a look at these and making sure that everything is apples to apples.
Spencer.
I mean Spencer, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Zach's not here. He's in Fort Myers.
Busy guy already, he doesn't need that.
So, and he said that, he goes, Keith, the best one is the one for 88. He said it's more of a long term. These others are like blow and go. They're gonna kind of just trim up a little bit and like a lawn service, they're gonna blow and go and on to the next one. Okay, spending maybe an hour, 45 minutes on a tree. This is gonna take them up where they're supposed to be, how they trim them up well. He did say it's a little expensive.
Yeah.
And so, we'll see if we can, work on that, but it's 240 oaks.
So how are your negotiating skills?
Mind if I comment on this?
Please, for 88 grand, yes.
So the way I came up with that is, you gotta imagine about $75 a labor hour is gonna give a profitable experience. So whenever you're charging $160 a tree that is 40 feet tall, 50 feet wide, massive, massive branches, I just highly doubt, in 2 man hours, you're gonna trim that tree that hasn't been trimmed in how long, So it seems like a low bid type of number to me, and not a whole lot of thought went into that number. Whereas around $300 some odd dollars a tree, I can now imagine enough time being spent to park a truck, get in there, cut the tree, look at it, did I do it right? Does this look good? Instead of, well, there's a light post, so let me cut around the light post and let me make a couple more cuts so they know I touched it and then get out of there. Anything less than $70,000 for 240 XL trees here. Maybe they have a labor pool that costs nothing. I doubt it, but that would be what it would take to spend any real quality time on these trees.
Okay, I like 78,000 a lot better than 88, but my question is, we've gotten a lot of things here that we hope is one thing and then it turns out to something else. Could we get a representation of what one tree would look like trimmed so we can make a decision?
I don't think that would be very helpful, to be honest, unless you can duplicate the tree. That would be like grabbing 2 of you and doing some sort of haircut and be like, what's an expensive haircut versus a cheap haircut? Only the person getting the haircut is really going to be able to.
Well, on that head, it looked pretty good.
I didn't think it looked better than mine right now.
So
maybe Andrew, would you be comfortable giving us like a review of how you would do this trimming? And have you been involved in that with the lifting of oak trees before?
Yes, we use a vendor called Arborist Art. He will be doing the job if approved. We can definitely set up a meeting and go over on site.
Could you just volunteer some more work?
Yeah, because I just want to make sure that if we're spending this money, I want to make sure we're getting what we think we're getting.
Well, the benefit that you have, supervisors, now is that you have an arborist on board because
Exactly.
Spencer's an arborist. So while the work is being done, he can probably schedule his inspection at the same time the work is being
Yes.
done.
Right.
And if there's issues to be addressed, they can be addressed. You can also put language in the contract that does specify that if the trees are not being pruned the way that they should be, that they'll have to return as many times as possible to complete the work the right way. So that can be part of your scope. But now that, you do have Spencer on board, being that he's a tree guy, he's an arborist, he'll see it right away. It'll stand out the minute he's on site.
And, it's, if you look at the proposals, they do spell it out. So whenever you hear terms like selective pruning, aesthetic improvement, these are structural pruning terms, meaning that decisions are going to be made about the long-term future of these trees. Your other quotes mention clearance pruning, code enforcement. So this much height over a sidewalk, this much height over a roadway, this much distance from a pole. That's not designed to help your tree live longer, and it's not designed to make your tree look better. It's designed just to kind of do a government mandated distance from objects. And I started the conversation with my comments on the trees driving forward for this very reason. Whoever was taking care of those trees for a long time and they were taken care of did a fantastic job. You look at them, big limbs were cut off to make sure the trunk kept going up straight. And that was not clearance pruning. That was somebody with knowledge and skill applying it to the tree, wanting it to be a canopy over the road one day. Clearance pruning will not give you that. It's going to just give you, like I said, code enforcement, government type, utility-esque looking work.
So this is a pretty big non-budgeted operational expense.
Yes, it is.
Could we divide it over 2 years?
Is it?
Every 3 years is recommended.
Every 3 years.
So 25,000 a year.
And
Should we, has anybody, Keith, anybody looked at the budget to say we can fit it in by
Big sale.
saving someplace else?
Not yet, because we just got Juniper's proposal on, was it Thursday or Friday, when I saw it first. So I really haven't taken the time
And
to
none of
look
us-
at it.
and we also have.
My
we
first
haven't seen
reaction to the proposal was that I thought it was high, so I did ask Keith to go out to get other bids so that we could have some sort of comparison before Spencer reviewed it. But we can, it is also something that you can probably delay until our new budget season, if that's something that you want to
And
do
we've
as
got the
well.
air conditioners, we've got the 3 air conditioners coming up, we should be getting quotes at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Next
So
facility.
those are in the reserve.
Which I have
Those
no-
are in the reserve though. But can
Yeah.
so
And
one of the
part of the
reasons
surplus.
this has come up is because the hurricane has beat the crap out of the oak trees. And couldn't this be part of the hurricane assessment?
You can deem it so if you decide.
I think that this is part of I still think we need to negotiate it, but I think this is part of the hurricane assessment, certainly.
You're just like a blank check.
Andrew will get us a new quote.
Thank you, Andrew.
Should we, Spencer, do you know other companies that we should be getting a quote from that would do it on an equivalent basis?
I could
Rather than
find,
just one?
I could find some for you if you'd like. I think if you Google search, you're gonna get the same companies that did the proposals already. An arborist like Arbor Artistry, or there's a couple down in Fort Myers, actually Yellowstone. There's a couple arborists. There's not a whole lot of really high-end arborists, and you can tell by the way they write the proposals and what they're talking about. We could go ahead and do that just for assurances, I don't see any problem. It doesn't sound like it's gonna get approved tomorrow anyway, so why not recommend some more companies? Just in my own personal experience, trimming trees and things like that, a tree that large, I'm personally not gonna touch for less than $500 a tree, you know, it's just like, they're huge, you know, you're talking about limbs that could crush a car that you're working around and things like that. This is not,
That makes it $100,000.
you know, so
This is 300.
I think maybe one other but there's not gonna be a lot of options. You're gonna have to be asking people from different cities to give that level of care.
For that level of expense, it just seems like we ought to get a couple of apples to apples.
I totally agree, and I think you can go back to these companies and say, I want these structure pruned, I don't want clearance pruning, and then you may be able to get a different number that way.
Maybe if we at least get one other from an arborist that you know.
Yeah, I could look into somebody, I have someone in mind.
Okay.
If you'll just send me that.
Cool. Very helpful.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day. Have a happy-
Thank you.
Andrew,
Appreciate
before
it.
Andrew leaves, are you gonna talk about irrigation anymore? Where are
Yes.
we with the irrigation repairs? Andrew, sorry.
All right, there you go.
Couple
See
more
ya.
minutes.
Thanks, Spencer.
So, last time you gave me a not to exceed to get, the electrical line ran, down between the houses out on Medici Berm. We've had two come out, and I'm still waiting on one bid. The other bid was a little over 11 grand to do that, right, to get that, it has to be a thicker wire because of the distance. To me, that seems awfully high, but I'll see what I'm waiting on this other one to get in so I can, get that, comparison apples to apples, and I'll bring it back to you, but it's something we need to do. If it's not, you already gave me an option to exceed. If it is, then we'll go with the other company and get this done. We talked about during the workshop, the fence. And, I showed you the pictures of where it would go. There's one opening that's great, because it's in that clandestine. I mean, it's pretty thick stuff, and if they wanna walk through that, they can walk through that, but, that'll decide, 25 foot. And the other one, we can add, where we want to, but, we can go out and take a look. We can walk the property again, or that area again.
And I will have Brian included on his, I'll have him relook at the plans he did, because I have gotten some other information about the statute saying that you can't block it with trees. The opening has to actually be open. And so I don't know the answer to that, but Brian, as the architect, he can actually weigh in on that, and he'll be here on the 8th, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, if the open, it has to really be open, then it's
a moot point.
And it's a moot point.
100% moot point, yes.
We'll see.
Can we get some like leeches and ticks?
Maybe we could put like a trench or tiger trap.
A moat.
That's it.
We've got 69 moats around here. So,
Jitters.
I do have a bunch of, no trespassing signs, coming. They should be here today or tomorrow. And we'll start putting them up in different locations throughout on Laurel Road, to really populate that. I've had people stand right next to them and fish and look at me and go, whoa. But, just on, if somebody gets hurt, at least
What do they say exactly? The language.
No trespassing property of the Venetian Golf and River Club.
I had a feeling you were gonna ask about that. Should we get a little something heavier?
I think
Trespassers will be shot.
prosecuted.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just worried about the public-private nature, but
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
And should we get some signs that also say no fishing? Just,
Well, I mean, if you're trespassing,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, here's the other thing, a lot of people who live here,
fish.
yeah, they fish, they catch and release, because you can't eat that.
But you're only behind your own home.
It's behind your own
Yeah,
home.
behind your own
Yes.
home, exactly, but to say no fishing, I think.
Well, I mean, if you do it by the side of where people are.
Yeah.
Just so-
but the trespassing signs ought to be, I mean, I can't go in there,
You gotta
so
read them.
fishing, I guess, would be the.
Fishing's a whole other big topic, we think you'll make.
Oh, boy.
Exactly.
So, as soon as I get that other quote for the irrigation, we'll go that route. And then, any other questions? Oh, on a personal note, I won't be I'll be gone the rest of the week,
Okay, good for you,
back on Monday,
okay.
and,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, just a few quick things though before we say Merry Christmas. Water level, you and I have been chit-chatting about water level and there's no rain in the forecast, so what do you think?
They've been pumping, the golf course has been pumping a lot of water to that big pond. I think we need to turn off block 2. And if it continues, and what's gonna happen there is once I turn off block 2, you can drive around here on Mondays at 10 o'clock and start seeing even more people water. So at some point, we're gonna have to have the discussion of turning off wet check. Because it's for a period of time. It is abused.
Sure it is.
And so it's not being even, I don't think that there's been a violation. There's many violations written up. But nobody's ever been violated or said, hey, you owe us $100. And a lot of
Used to be, when I was on rules, they sure were.
But they do it differently now.
Yeah.
That's
In the POA, yes.
And a lot of it is, $100 versus new sod. Here's your check. I'm not, I'm gonna, or I'll stop doing it, and then 2 months later, they're doing it, or whatever the statute of limitations of starting over again. But they'd rather write a check for $100 than the $5,000 it is to replace sod. So, but I think right now, we can continue with wet check, but I think at some point, if we don't have any rain here in the next 30 days to start, we're gonna have to probably look at turning off. And as bad as it is, I'm surprised that the city hasn't turned off some of the water.
Okay.
I got one question as we talked about this before. If we do the median irrigation, is that also coming out of the same water supply?
Oh, yeah. I still, yeah.
That's a consideration.
Yeah, it is a consideration.
Yeah. I mean, who's gonna pay for that? And,
Yeah.
Is there supply?
Right.
it's our supply. Gotta come
I mean,
out.
is there enough quantity?
So to recap, you're gonna turn off zone 2,
Correct.
but you're gonna leave wet check.
I'll leave wet check.
When are you turning off block 2?
I'll send out a note today that
Okay.
block 2 is gonna be turned off.
Okay. There'll be some howling, but,
People can
Yeah.
put their own sprinklers on though.
well, absolutely.
Do a little bit of fun.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I had just a couple quick things. I'm wondering, maybe Matt Liverman's gonna be better placed to answer this question, but I'm not sure the pickleball courts are being locked every night. Now, it could be that people are playing, I know I've talked to one of the female officers, and sometimes when she's gone to lock them, they give her a heck of a hard time. And, she's not gonna stand there and argue with them.
Correct.
But it's in the post orders.
Correct, and she should probably go back and keep checking,
Okay.
if they're, still playing,
Yeah.
you gotta go.
Yeah.
Find out who it is, or.
Well, how are they playing in the dark?
So
The tennis
Lock
lights
it in.
actually
the
light up
tennis
a little
lights,
bit.
yeah, they
The
should be
tennis
turning on.
lights are off by 10 p.m. Matt and Michael and I went and checked the timer in the FACP closet.
Okay,
And it is set, they are set to go off at
They were
10
on in the
p.m.
morning the other day.
Yes, I'll tell you why, because
it was
David
busy.
Manasco needs them for Tort 1
Oh,
to do the pool maintenance, because he comes at 5 a.m.
got it.
But, he only turns on Court 1, so.
so we do need to have the pickleball signs redone because they've been taped and torn for the, 7:30 or sunset, whatever comes first.
Yeah.
I mean, because people should be off those courts by 6 o'clock.
It's turned off too.
And the equipment thing is turned off too, yeah, the Onyx 2 balls.
See me in the next day or two, and we'll do a draft and send it.
Okay,
And I'll do the no water, no tear signs,
okay,
like the one that was cut off for the pool gate.
yeah.
And I'll check back with the supervisor, to make sure. that
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
locked.
God, I know I've talked to her a bunch of times. And then just one quick thing for the other supervisors to know. Greg, often has a lot of people he has to meet with, but, there's that media closet in his office. So I chatted with Keith, who very kindly.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Andrew. Keith had kindly offered to swap offices with Greg. Keith, I guess, doesn't mind people coming in and saying, I have to turn up the music in the bar or whatever. So, they're gonna swap offices. I appreciate you offering, and I wanted you all to know that swap is taking place.
Who's swapping with who, sorry?
Greg and Keith are swapping.
Okay.
Because often Greg will be in
Because-
meeting with staff, and then
Remember.
somebody knock, right?
So how do we fix the fundamental problem?
That's what I was gonna ask. How do we fix the issue with the
As
sound
opposed
machine
Buying a
being?
system. Because it can't be moved, right, Greg? You can't move that.
Not without wired. Yeah, not without wiring.
It can't be rewired?
No,
It'll cost a fortune. It'll
so,
cost a fortune to rewire.
anyway,
that.
but, so I think this is a quick fix, and,
Well, except he's gonna get interrupted all the time.
well, he knows that.
He already gets interrupted all the time.
But no, the issue is Greg's meeting with staff sometimes.
No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I think Cindy and I are in the same place, like,
Yeah,
there still needs to be a fundamental fix.
I have a question. Why not swap with Laura? Because Laura is only here part-time. And that office is always open and always people going in and out
Yeah,
because
but
it's
that's losing a whole office for somebody who's here part-time is not, in my opinion, not a good use of space.
No, but other people are in that office. The maintenance guys kind of bunk in that office, right? Am
yeah,
I wrong?
No, maintenance, that's where he's at.
yeah.
Are you saying for,
Instead of
For Laura
swapping
to
with
swap
you,
with Greg,
Greg swap with Laura and me.
because it still puts you off the beaten track.
Well, let me ask, could Keith and Laura be in the same office?
Yeah, you need new desks,
Then you got people coming in
Yeah.
all the time.
but that's a huge office.
I agree though, if Laura's only here part-time,
And
It
the
might
other
be-
guys
that would
are
make
in and
more
out
sense.
of
that would make more
office.
sense.
Yeah.
If Laura's here part-time, then 50% of the time that office is available for adjustments to be made. But we still come back to where I'm at with Ken, is how do we need to fix something to make it so we don't have this issue going forward regardless?
But then I guess all I'm saying is that,
Server in there too?
My suggestion was to make my office the food and beverage office. And not necessarily just swap with Keith. I think if him and Laura could share an office, that would be best. Because the food and beverage team is the one that literally 6 or 8 times a day are coming in to turn on or turn off the music, depending on what function is going on in which room. So,
You do a Luciano switch?
yeah, and Luciano and Anthony share that one office now that is the food and beverage office. And both of them could be in there.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm not sure it's something the board needs to figure out.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you guys can figure it out amongst
okay,
yourselves.
yeah, I just wanted to make you
Yes.
aware, yeah.
Supervisors, we're coming on into
Yeah.
the almost 2 hour mark,
Yeah,
and we
right.
still haven't moved into any of the business items.
I know.
Is there anything pressing for Keith at this time, or? No?
No.
Oh, then-
Okay, I have to go to my closing.
Okay, goodbye, have.
Good luck.
Bye, thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Can I just quickly, I probably should have done it during Andy's report, but it's really maybe for both of you potentially. We 5 chatted about the Neil letter in the workshop, and long story short, Cheryl is going to be the liaison for that. Because she volunteered.
I opened my mouth.
You did. So anyway, just so you know, we've got some action on that. You wanted to-
Does anybody need a break before we move on?
Sure.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna go with Carol.
All right, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break and go off.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sit with Carol for a minute. Carol and I are gonna have a chat.
All right.
close the
So
audience.
we are back on the record at 11:29 a.m. Supervisors, just as a reminder, our next meeting is going to take place on January 12th. So the joint continued landscape meeting will also take place on the 12th. I want to make sure everybody has that on their calendar.
So did you continue it from today?
Yes.
So you opened it?
We have to open it now, so we'll have to
Oh,
open
okay,
it
I didn't
and
know what we
continue
were
it.
doing again.
So we need a motion to open the continued meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we've just opened the continued joint meeting. Now we would need a motion to continue it to January 12th.
At 9:30 at this location.
9:30, this location. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All right, so Jill, did you want to just tell me the items are there any items we're not gonna cover, so I can just scratch
yeah.
them off?
So we are gonna do the rules thing, but I think it will be quickly. We're not doing the fence thing, is that right?
Are we doing
So we're not doing C, we're not doing 6C.
Wait, are we doing 6A?
That's the one we just continued.
Okay, so this is continued.
So that's continued. 6C, we are,
The architect.
we're waiting for the architect, yep. So
This is
6C,
continued to next meeting?
yeah, well, let's continue it to there and we can take it off. I think we're doing D today.
We can do D today, yeah.
Today, that'll be pretty
Right,
quick.
and I was gonna
It,
say, I
it
think,
comes, it comes off.
I think we should do D as part of,
The root of B,
talk about it during the open
Yes.
public hearing.
Okay.
yeah, we will. E, we are not doing.
Okay.
F, I think we can do quickly. We need to do G. We are not doing H, we've already dealt with it. Are we doing I?
I,
Is that old? That's old, isn't it?
Oh, no, we talked about it last time, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I just caught up.
Yeah.
No, we need to do that,
We
it's
need
the
to do it.
sod for Laurel
But
Road.
we'll be-
Well, are we gonna do SADC with the home sprinklers?
No.
I wanna get it
Irrigation?
approved so
No,
that
we're-
we put it in as soon as the irrigation's fixed.
Okay.
They're gonna put it in, the goal would be they put it in when they put the plants in, the 250 plants they're replacing.
Okay, because also the question is, what are we doing if we're having water coming in once a day? I mean, once a week if we.
Well, hold on, we're gonna discuss it.
Let's discuss it when we're discussing
All
it,
right,
I'll take
please.
it off.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Why do you ask me to get that?
We covered 6J, right?
Yeah.
And what is 6K?
Yeah, that was discussing like, with conversation with actually Andy, is what part of the River Club is actually private? Is it the parking lot? Is it the
Not
building? Is it this?
Private,
Is it that?
it's member only.
Or I should say member only. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So we need to discuss what exactly the parameters are of the building and the
I listened
structures.
to Andy.
We'll leave it on.
Okay, all right, so, so we sorted out A's done, we're gonna go right to B, so then I guess you need a motion to open the public hearing first?
yeah, hold on one sec.
Yes.
I'm rushing you guys, see, Belinda, I got really used to running meetings now, I've run two, I'm doing 2 or 3
You're
now,
just
so I'm getting
drunk on
good at
power.
it. I'm totally drunk on power.
All right, so Jill's just made a motion to open the continued public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
And for all our audience, I want to say that we're taking public comment on this issue, 6B, as well as 6D, because I think some of the things you may want to accomplish there, we're setting some rates and stuff,
Yes.
which would be better done in public hearing.
Okay.
Oh, no. Hi, okay, so, I think we can go through fairly quickly. I have it open on my, I had it open on my laptop. The first page on this one, I think,
Did we close public comment?
not yet. Oh, yeah, did we close?
Oh, we gotta close the hearing. Well, are we gonna continue or are we ready to?
There's nobody here, so let's just keep this going.
Okay, all right. So, on the top of page 4, as you have it, I didn't put anything in here, but I noted, we may need to align what's done here along with any SOP
Yes,
changes.
yes.
Now,
It's close, it's not
okay,
exact.
so do we want to discuss that now, or do we get through this quickly and then come back? I'm thinking we get through the document quickly and then come back to the top of page 4.
What if you just say delinquent accounts in accordance with operating procedures?
No, we're on the member ID and member accounts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we need to circle
There
back to
is
this
no,
one.
yeah, we'll circle back to it, because there's no notation there, Andy. I did it after the fact, so.
Okay.
But on this one, he's right.
Yeah, define
And
by.
I don't want to define it in here, I just
No.
want to say in accordance with.
Accordance with our operating procedures.
So where did we put that?
Top of page 5 of my.
Right,
Delinquent accounts in accordance with operating procedures will be subject to. You might even, instead of saying one-time late fee, you might just say will be subject to potential late fees and interest. Something like that, just to make it more general.
Thank you.
these, okay, and shall accrue, okay. Let me save that. Save a room. Okay, number 5, I think we had discussed what you see in 5 and 7 about
Yeah.
having credit card on file. Did anybody have any comments on the edits there? Are you okay with those? Okay. Okay. Right, okay, so moving on to page 6. Nothing new here. This is the second paragraph of rental privileges, para number 2, beginning with approved renters at their request may be issued. Blah, 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 for the purpose of accessing River Club amenities, in order to have a temporary member ID card issued. Renters must have a credit card on file to cover dining or other charges of the River Club. Renters may also pay for dining charges at point of sale by using a credit card. You okay with that?
Yes.
Fabs. Paragraph 2, also under rental lessee privileges.
I don't think we should put that in.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I was asking the question out loud.
No.
We don't want to mix.
No,
We
I'm
should
asking,
dictate what the rental agreements say.
okay, that was,
They're not our
that
rental
was,
agreements.
that was the answer to the question. Okay. I do think, though, we need to give the POA a copy of these rules.
Sure.
Okay, fair enough. So now I'm on to page, which you're looking,
It's okay.
9 dining rules. So number 2 says River Club manager personnel are not permitted to deliver food or liquor outside areas designated by the River Club owner. My question for you, Andy, is,
Where are you at? I'm sorry, just catching up.
Top says dining rules, page
Dining
9.
rules number 2,
Yeah.
page at 9.
designated by River Club owner. I highlighted this after the fact when I was rereading it because I'm paranoid now about a liquor license. So it says outside areas designated by the River Club owner. So our liquor license is a consumption on premises.
Yeah, so why doesn't it read that way?
What is the premises? Is the premises the tennis courts? Is the premises?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
That kind of ties into my question as to
It does.
what's,
it does.
yes. I think it's from the minute you cross that threshold at the entrance.
well, that's my question. That was my thing to discuss.
Why don't we just say River Club manager personnel are not permitted to deliver food or liquor outside legally designated areas?
Okay.
And not even include a River Club owner in that?
Or do you want it, or to say must,
What does that mean, though? I'm
No, I
really
understand.
asking, because it's like, can I do dinks and drinks and pickleball and just have drinks delivered to the pickleball court?
Does it improve your game?
Anything would improve that. No, I'm serious, I'm trying to
It's within the
figure
River
out.
Club property.
I think this might be a Hampton question because they're gonna know the liquor licenses. And I'll tell you, this ties into, like Greg was wondering, can we sell a case of wine to residents? Now, I don't think we can because we are
Take it with us?
consumption.
Yeah, it's
Like,
consumption.
that's a different liquor license.
So for the golf cart parade, Greg was kind enough to have the servers come out and give everybody some Island Breezes complimentary.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, it was a great, we never asked for it, it was never asked for, it was never part of the deal. And I would say that that would be perfectly legal, so if you wanted to do deeps and drinks, improving the game or not.
Well, complimentary might be different from charge for.
No, that's irrelevant
Yeah.
to the question.
I think anywhere on the, because we allow people to consume while they're playing bocce ball.
Right. So
Yeah.
River Club
River Club,
premises.
River Club property.
River Club manager personnel not permitted to deliver fruit or liquor outside.
River Club property.
We have specific definitions back here.
I'm gonna let you go so I don't lose my place.
Yeah, I think River Club property is the definition.
So that means, so it's, I'm asking because I see it a lot.
So, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No,
Finish.
if somebody orders a
That's correct,
cocktail
that's
here and then walks out onto the boardwalk with their cocktail,
No, that's not our property.
that's not our property, but, so it has to be consumed on premises. So they're, okay. I just
Although
want
I
to
have
clarify.
taken
Wait a minute,
half a
this
bottle of
says
wine.
deliver.
Yeah.
Deliver.
Oh, this says
Deliver.
deliver.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
because they have
Okay.
let me take a half a bottle of wine home. They record it.
Yes, they bag it.
Okay,
you know.
oh, and that's proper, that's, okay, all right.
So under this, we can never allow home delivery of pizza, to-go pizza.
No, this is just alcohol.
No, it says food
It says
or
food, it
alcohol.
says food.
Oh, you're right. Food or alcohol.
I don't know why food can't be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would separate these two things specifically, because.
Well, just
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
food out of it.
Yeah, I say
Food
let's
out
just
of
take
it.
food off.
And, yeah, because especially.
I
I'm very concerned about
I
it.
agree, there's no reason to talk about.
Just on the food, a comment that the auto policy is something that needs to be discussed, and whether or not employees are using their own personal vehicles, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I see the delivery thing is a bad idea personally.
I
I just
agree.
think we shouldn't deliver. We have it to go. They can come and get it themselves.
I was just using it as an example.
I know, but that actually brought up another memory of mine, which is the whole auto.
Yeah, but
policy.
So if it
let's say we
reads for
did Uber,
now-
even if we did Uber Eats, if, it's not our vehicle, not their vehicle, it's Uber Eats, but if it's called sanctioning that for food, it would need to, that might be part of delivery, even though it's not.
No, I think it's an independent company. Uber Eats could come and pick it
Yeah,
to go.
because it says
Yeah.
personnel.
Yeah.
So if it reads right now, River Club manager personnel are not permitted to deliver liquor outside, should we say alcoholic beverages or? Because beer's not liquor, is it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anything
It
with
is?
alcohol
Yeah.
content is.
Yeah, it's considered liquor.
Okay, okay.
Darn it.
I thought I was being so virtuous.
Although there's an
Well, your
argument
office is
about
on
liquor.
tropic.
Oh, but near beer.
Then you're
All right,
right.
so are you
Alright, so-
okay if it reads not permitted to deliver liquor outside the River Club
Yes.
property?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Fabs, okay, let me hit the save button on that. Okay, fabulous. Yada, yada, boom, 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 bing, 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 bing. Teaching court, I think Matt
Yes.
said number 10, that's on near the top of page 11.
Yes,
Teaching court,
yes. And then the extra verbiage, so we're gonna leave that first sentence in there, okay? And then we are going to add, I will read it to you, and you can take it right here. Lessons and clinics are permitted for 3 or more residents or non-resident members
or more residents or non-resident members.
during prime time.
Prime time is capitalized. Oops. So, second sentence, lessons and clinics are permitted for 3 or more residents or non-resident members during prime time.
Yes,
Okay.
period.
Yes.
Yep, and then the other one that needs to be fixed is number 7. We're suspending rule number 7 because we can't accommodate it in Jonas. So can we just say suspended?
Can you just take it out for now?
Or you want to
just
take it out?
Looking at something else, where?
On page 10.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, you go. It's your thing.
On page 10, number 7, it's the use of the ball machine. Because Jonas can't accommodate this particular rule, we wanted to suspend it. So can we just write suspended on it, or do we have to take it out completely?
I think you could
But I thought they're gonna change the rule to make it to something, so I mean,
No, we decided to suspend it. That was the decision of the racket sports.
but I thought they said they were looking at doing it, that if you reserve.
They can't make the
if you reserve, the ball machine will be on one court, and then you reserve the court. I thought that's what they
I think we
discussed.
should take it out,
Okay,
but we can always put it back in, because I keep all the versions.
So you're gonna allow it? If you take it out, you're allowing it?
if we take it out, we are allowing the ball machine to be used for 90 minutes. That's what we're saying, because we can't accommodate it in Jonas to only allow it for half an hour or an
Can I
hour.
make a suggestion?
Yeah, sure.
Do they need to see tennis staff in order to get the machine?
Well, that is now up for conversation, because Matt does not want that ball machine made available if there's not somebody on staff.
So could we just put in a generic statement that says, please see tennis staff for use of ball machine?
We can do that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So that way we
Because we're
keep a
leaving that
placeholder.
piece up to Matt from an operational perspective to allow him.
Why don't you put, so it's consistent with the other rules, ball machine usage must be coordinated with the tennis staff.
Okay. There you go. And then whatever that turns out to be, that turns out to be. Because we can't restrict it. The rule doesn't apply. Jonas doesn't accommodate it. And Matt is gonna be developing an SOP. We didn't want to include it in the rules because it's an SOP.
Okay.
And then coordinated with tennis staff would actually just then defer to the SOP he comes up.
Correct.
Exactly, maybe that's the best.
Correct.
Solution of all, okay. so
Okay,
great. Use of the ball machine, ball machine usage, right? Okay, ball machine usage must be coordinated with tennis staff, okay, fabulous. Then, period.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problemo. Ding, 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 ding. We're running through here now, like lickety split. Pool and spa rules, ding, ding, ding. Now, you will not have the fee schedule, but I made a copy for you because I've been talking to staff member, talking to staff who, want, or maybe did I send this around? No, I didn't. Well, maybe why don't we do the locker rental first? There's one for Belinda as well. Thanks, Jen. Welcome. So on the fee schedule, my first question, and I have to have a great answer, is under, and there's no notation in the electronic file I sent you, River Club food and beverage gratuity fee. It's not clear to me what gratuity they're charging for private events, but I think, like if I'm gonna have my daughter's wedding,
Yeah.
you know, I think that needs to be iterated on that row. So I need Greg and his staff to clarify that for me.
Okay.
So if it's okay with you all, that's what I would plan to do, is just get that, which of those three, 2022, 24, does it fall under? What do we do with locker rental? Are we still renting lockers?
Should you put under the gratuity fees about, they don't apply to takeout orders, to-go orders? Something there?
Yeah. Well, but this is a fee, and that's no fee, so.
But you're putting on.
Oh, well, let's just put 20% daily food and beverage except for takeout,
Yeah.
except to go.
And why is a banquet or a private event different than a special event?
My understanding is there's a lot more setup and breakdown, because a banquet ends up being, you know, a lot more work. So they say.
I guess my question is, define special event versus banquet.
So a
That's
special
my-
event is gonna be, say, something like, the holiday party or something like that, which I think is 22%.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or-
Okay.
But, you know, maybe Greg wants to change these, I don't know.
So a special event is a River Club sponsored event
Yes.
versus, so maybe it's just, maybe say that 22% on River Club sponsored special events, 24% on banquets and
Mhm.
private events.
Yeah.
What's a banquet?
Like well, it's a private event. I mean, a banquet is something somebody else schedules.
Like the
Is that
member
would be
guest.
like,
Like the member guest.
like the member guest.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
I'll get Greg
I would
to,
change it, I
Why
would
don't you just say
Just say
private
private events, I see what you're saying, sorry, I just made the.
I would reword it to 22% on club-sponsored events and then 24% on private events.
Yeah, they got
This
me.
way-
I would
this
still
way
say
it-
club-sponsored special events, because everything is club-sponsored. So I would just say special events so that it's clear that it's not like I come in for dinner, it's a.
It's like the
for a
murder
club
mystery.
event, Yeah.
and what did you say about, Rich, about private events? You
I was,
said,
yeah,
take out
24% on private.
24 on private, yeah, because I would
Take out
make it, yeah.
Just say
Okay,
25% of.
fine, and I'll just make sure Greg is okay with this, no worries. Can we leave that one a row? We good with that?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Locker rental,
I have
any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions on it.
Nice.
So first of all, many months ago, I had asked, Julie to make a master key so we could access all the lockers because we are missing so many keys in the locker room, all right? My opinion is that, still get that done with Greg, okay? And then we have the keys replaced, and then anyone who has storage of their games and their whatever, cards and everything in there, I think we should start charging them for using the lockers.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, and if you use it on a daily basis, like I have used it to go do a swim and then go to a meeting, I throw my stuff in there, and I don't think there should be a fee for that, but I think these people who are consuming a locker to store their personal items, I think we need to be charged. That's
So,
long-term storage.
Long-term storage,
so
yeah.
do we leave this
Simply.
as it is and then we just do what you're talking about? And how do we handle what's
Well, it
here?
says free for daily use.
Yeah, I think we leave it as is.
Okay.
What's the $5 late charge per day? What's the late charge?
That's if you don't turn in the key at the end of your day.
I would put that, I would put that in there. I would call it that then, because I don't understand.
Okay, for unreturned keys.
For unreturned keys, yeah. I can work with Greg, or the maintenance guy,
Okay.
to get that master key made and then get all those keys replaced.
Okay.
It was, I found the bill when they replaced all those lockers.
Yeah, it was
Keys, yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, it was not cheap.
Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't, how much was
I
it?
don't remember, but I remember seeing it. I
Oh, crap.
remember going
Okay.
through it.
Yeah, so they've got like 6 keys for like the 50 lockers that we have in there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, so I will take that one on.
Okay, I'll take the highlighter off of there. Okay. So, tennis guest fee remains at $10. And then, so private event room fees. Now, you may recall, we used to have something in here that referred to, fewer than 50 people was $25, 50 to 100 or fewer was $100, and then, or whatever the numbers were that were here. One of the things that I've discovered from Kat Wilhoit, the lifestyle person, is that it takes, for example, a lot of man hours to set the room up for, moving tables around if you're gonna have a dance floor, et cetera. So I had asked them to think about the number of man hours it takes for things like the dance floor and AV setup. So the way that I propose to structure this now is, like, let's say I'm gonna have my daughter's wedding, and I want a special setup. They're gonna say it's gonna be 4 man hours to set up and 4 man hours to break down. And that's how it would be based on the event needs. Or if I wanna have a twister party and no tables, it's gonna be a whole lot of work. It's gonna be 8 hours. So anyway, this gives them the flexibility to charge a reasonable man-hour fee without setting a specific number, if that's okay for the rules.
Yeah.
To have a per hour fee. Okay.
And
Dance floor.
no charge for the room itself?
Exactly, because people were balking at that, and I think it's fair, because if you're gonna have a party that requires no setup, why would you have somebody the same as somebody who, like me, if I'm gonna have a twister party, want the dining room cleared, that's gonna be, 6 or 8 man hours.
Because the reason it is, when I did my son's party at the country club, there was a setup fee, there was a room fee, there was like a linen fee.
Yeah, but you
there was
guys didn't own the club, and the pushback we've had from people is, why do I have to pay a room fee if I own the club? I get that, but there is a labor fee, and I think
Well,
people.
then maybe we have it differently for, I guess,
Why don't we just do it the way they've asked? Why do we have to change
No,
what
I'm
they've
saying
asked?
this, okay, this is for members, so it's not, so non-members
No,
would
I
not
like
be found
this.
as.
I like
So if it's a
Yeah,
non-member,
I like
okay.
this.
And then like if I wanna have special high top tables, they're gonna go out and price it, but I want, it needs to be, I think, maybe it doesn't need to be iterated, but I felt that sentence should be in here if you need something.
So is this member private event?
Yeah, because those are the only events we're doing right now.
But we might.
We can deal with that down the road.
So you want to clarify this and just say member
Yeah, but that was, but a
private?
resident.
Member.
That's why I questioned it.
Yeah,
It's-
resident.
But then again, a non-member would not be having to would not be following these rules because it's not a rule for the non-members.
Because Knights of Columbus, I think there were
Well, all I'm
seven.
saying is, why wouldn't you just put member in front of private event
Yeah,
room fees, just to make it clear?
Member
I think
sponsored
so.
private event.
yeah,
fees.
I think so, member sponsored, yeah.
Okay,
And then there's no question that, if somebody comes in, yeah.
okay, all right, fair enough. Thank you for that, I appreciate it. And then,
So
oh, sorry, go ahead.
if the community association has a seminar speech in here, they have to set up. Are we charging them?
You're not.
Because I don't think we have them.
We haven't been, but I seem to recall, and I wasn't on the board yet, but the discussion I seem to recall, it was Rick McCafferty, I don't remember whether David Lusty was still on board, I think so. But I think it was because it's open to all, it's not private, it's not, it's my daughter's wedding, that that we would do it. And in fact, just so one of the things I had talked to Kat about is I wonder if some of these community association events could be done around a meal so we could get some F&B revenue, do it lunch or do it.
Well, that's a different.
No, but you understand where I'm coming from is that.
No, I
it's the
agree.
whole-
I don't think we should charge
I don't think we should either.
for a community event.
Yeah.
Because it's open to all.
It's open to all,
Right,
right,
right.
exactly.
So it's not a private event.
Right, if it's open to all, then yeah.
Yeah, and just so you know, Kat is gonna be preparing a one pager that's being given to everybody that says, this is what the fees are, et cetera. Because it is around labor. I mean, people, I think, don't appreciate how much
Yeah,
labor
those tables are heavy.
cost.
Yeah,
Yes, they
yeah.
are. So on tennis lessons, I hope you don't mind, I have approached Matt and said, I'd given him a copy of this, I think, before the last meeting.
Okay.
Before he was even on board.
Mhm.
I know he was intending to look at this, and I know he's been holding off giving lessons to
Yes.
people. But he didn't seem to, he didn't seem to think that the rates were gonna be vastly different from this. My feeling is that we should just let it go forward so Matt can
Absolutely.
do, and then if he needs to adjust it, he can. Are we okay with that, Andy, if Matt just, it should be the same?
Can't change it after we've out.
After we close it?
So
But yeah,
either-
but then we could reopen it if Matt wants to. We could
Or
make
we'd have
a
to
new
re-advertise.
60-day advertising.
So.
So we have to live with this for a year, basically, because we don't want to reopen
Right,
this
we don't wanna
concept.
reopen
We can, but
Can I follow up with him very quickly? I mean, we're not gonna close this today,
Well,
are
why don't we close it next month? We'll continue it and then
Yeah.
close it in January.
Let me ask him,
It's holding up
already
everything,
continued it like
so,
5 times.
yeah, let me ask him, let me get with him, and
Okay.
I will get final answers in regard to this.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
that made me think of
Otherwise,
something
we're
else.
done.
No, but otherwise what we could do is we could leave that fee schedule as it is, can't we? And then we can adopt some of the rules, but then continue the ones that haven't been.
We might as well just wait till the next meeting
Okay, let's wait.
and adopt
Can
the
can
whole
we,
thing.
can I get?
Let's just wait.
It'll actually be 3 weeks. You guys are okay with waiting 3 weeks on that?
Yes.
To leave it open
We're all
one more
gonna be
time?
busy.
Okay.
All right, so I think that.
Okay, I will get answers from him. I will make him say yes or
So
no.
that's the only open thing though, so I think unless you all had anything else we needed to do,
Okay,
that I would make a motion to continue.
well, let's talk about that other agenda item as
Oh,
part of
yes,
the
yeah, you're right,
discussion.
that's
Yeah.
right, the SMPs, yeah, that's true, okay. So this is the top of page 4. Sorry about that. Yeah.
What's the start of it?
It's member identification and member accounts.
okay, yes.
All right. Thank you for all the work.
Page 47.
In your agenda, she's talking about the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Just
Both of you were like,
I'm like,
before you get rolling on this, just a couple minor items I noticed. It talks about age 15 and older. And it should, the way we define child is
Yes.
under 15.
yes, correct.
So there's three separate references to that. There's one in the Roman numeral 2. There's one on there's two of them in Roman numeral 4 on page 4. So that just needs to be tweaked.
Okay.
And then the other thing I noticed is that the release that we're using, release Vesta.
Ooh,
So that needs to be changed.
okay.
And going forward, we may just want to say the CDD's a facilities management company rather than.
River Club Management.
River Club Management, yeah.
That manager is the way we defined it.
So
Mhm.
just wanted to point that out, that we still have Vesta in there. Just, those are things I noticed
Who's
off
the
the top.
keeper of the official version of this waiver?
Oh, the waiver itself, that I don't know.
I mean, I have a version on my computer, but I don't know who has it here.
What's the question?
The River
Well-
Club waiver.
The third paragraph starts the undersigned, for the undersigned, and the undersigned's guests and family, and then it says Vesta Property Services.
Mhm.
Okay, so that, okay. But this is for the SOP itself and not,
We're talking two different things. Aren't you in a different place?
Now, I'm in the SOP.
Okay.
And at the back of the SOP, you have the membership application and agreement with the waiver on the back, with the waiver attached. And the waiver still says Vesta in it.
Oh.
That may be an even bigger problem if everybody's all signed a bunch of waivers releasing Vesta.
It would be.
I mean, they're just releasing them for their injuries, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not releasing them for any of this other stuff
Okay.
we've been talking
yeah,
about.
because the rules, well, there's children under 15 and children under 12. In the
12 is
in the
for
rules.
12 is for the hot tub. I don't-
Yes, it
hot
is.
tub, okay.
That's different.
Okay, I'm just going through the children.
Yeah.
cases in
The
here.
children should be, the way, it's age 14 and under is a child, age 15 and above is an adult.
Well, then children, then it says children under 5 should not use the spa for River Club.
Well, right, the spa has
Right.
different.
I think
their
that,
own
I think
administrative code rules.
12 was for the fitness center as well, for the,
Could be, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that slight tweak in the way you did 15. Just needs to be 15.
Yeah.
In
That's
here,
all.
oh, you're gonna,
Yes,
you're gonna do that.
So it's under age 15.
right, 15
Yes.
is an adult,
15 and over,
are
or
adults,
under 15.
under 15 is a kid,
Or 15 and over is the
however
same
you
thing.
wanna say it,
Yeah,
right,
yes,
but 15 is adult, 14 is kid, however
Yes.
you wanna say it. So when you say age 15 and older, or when you said, members greater than 15 years old, that would only mean a 16-year-old, whereas a
Right.
15-year-old should be getting it.
Mhm.
That was the problem.
Yes.
I have, so I guess we'll go through this whole thing and then
So-
figure out what needs to go.
Yeah, that was just a couple
Yeah.
things off the top that I told you down.
I had a couple questions in on this.
So this one is much different than the one I shared with everybody in my email that I had sent.
Oh,
So,
I
this,
printed the one from the agenda.
yeah, this, but I had sent one, I had sent
When I-
one the last
when-
meeting.
At the last meeting,
We never got
we're
to.
talking about the SOP now.
Correct.
So when Zach put it in the last meeting agenda, I had sent him this red line version.
Correct. And I had,
Apparently, when he opened it, it automatically accepted all of the
Oh,
red lines.
no.
And that's what went in the last meeting
okay, 'cause-
agenda. So this time I asked him to make sure it goes in as a red line.
so this was, and then after I had seen that agenda item, I sent this to everyone, which was,
Yes.
I think, was your red line version similar to this then, Ken?
So you had sent this
Yes,
before, So I took some of your, Amy's
Gotcha.
comments and incorporated them in this.
Okay.
But I wanted to keep the format the same as the original one
Okay.
that Laura uses.
Okay, so it was basically this verbiage from this document that I had shared with everybody, just incorporated into the format that you had,
Not verbatim, but
but close. Okay.
hopefully. That was the intent.
Okay.
My bad, then I looked at the wrong thing.
So I looked at what was in the agenda package, was that not what we're looking at?
The agenda package should have been, it is my red line version.
Yes,
Oh, okay, that's what
yes,
I
which is
looked at.
very, very similar
Oh, okay.
to what it's not exact, but it's
Oh,
very
all right.
similar, yes.
Okay, good, well, then, I don't feel so bad.
No, it's good.
So, because there was now I didn't see it in background, so maybe this is gone, but it said one member of the household can provide valid residence identification for all members. And I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, and then the first one on this printed one says each homeowner, even someone 15 years old, which might be a little bit of a
Greater than 15
When
years.
I
I'm buying
mine.
the printed one.
Page 2.
So which one
So-
are we gonna,
so
which one
when-
are we gonna go off?
Time out.
So this, what I'm saying here is each homeowner, that doesn't mean they have to physically be here, but if you live in the
Yeah.
household, you need to provide the documentation.
correct.
So it's basically
But
the,
I
I
think
like
it
the
says the
verbiage
same.
that,
okay, fine,
only because I didn't
Perfect.
understand this versus I understood that.
okay, I'm good with that.
And that's in the one that's online. which
Yes.
I'm trying to read on my phone.
Because one of mine says one member of the household can provide
Right.
valid residence
Mhm.
identification for all members. I interpret that to mean, yeah, of course my kid lives here, you're taking my word for it.
No, they need the
That's-
physical documentation
Doesn't
as
say
well.
that.
Okay, so we should incorporate that piece.
Oh, well then, okay, yes,
So
yeah,
I'm
I'm still
saying-
confused,
So
yeah.
because in this other version, it says driver's license, tax proof, mortgage, mortgage closing document, et cetera. So we want to incorporate that verbiage into where it says, one homeowner can provide documentation for
Yeah,
all the homeowners.
they can bring it.
They can bring it,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
It should say that.
yeah. Yeah, what page is that on? Page 1?
Page 1, one member of the household can provide valid residency identification for all members.
Yeah, and that,
That could be interpreted to you're vouching for them,
I think it should say that,
I think.
they have to provide supporting documentation. And that is the driver's license, tax proof, mortgage,
Well,
blah, blah,
what you
blah.
could say is,
Well, valid residency identification.
each person needs
Doesn't have to
it.
be a driver's license, it can be.
Well, there's
any-
a whole
any of the
list of things, yeah.
You don't think that's clear, valid residency identification for all members?
Yeah, but this says one member can provide it.
They can bring
Correct.
it.
They can bring in, so,
I wouldn't say that first then, I would say everybody needs it, and
I find this sentence confusing is all I'm
very
saying.
confusing.
To me, this means, in my head, this means I could come up with my mortgage paper and say, these people all live in my house and they all get cards and RFID tags.
That's how I interpret it.
That's how I interpreted it, just so you know.
So let's not say all, let's say each.
which is what the other bullet point says.
Okay,
Well, if you make it each, I get it, yeah.
right,
Each man.
yeah, so it's clearer, it's definitely clearer on
And
that.
it's not necessarily household, it's member, it's not even a household member, it's a member. I mean, this is for outside, outside members also, isn't this?
Non-resident members. Well,
But it's still the household.
It's still a household, yeah.
true.
Yeah, I
Can you
guess.
provide it for your neighbor?
No.
The household.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Well, your neighbor's not in the household.
Right, that's why I'm saying, we
Yeah.
should keep household.
Yeah.
No,
Rich was saying
I
no.
got, no, it's.
Because
you're-
even, household even applies to a non-resident member.
No, you're right, you're right,
It's
you're right. I
still-
was thinking,
I think,
you're right,
I think it should, so if we have that sentence, we should just add, proof of residency is required for each resident in the household.
So valid proof of residency.
Yes.
And then maybe behind valid proof of residency, in parentheses, then put, driver's license, tax proof, mortgage closing document, banking information.
Just say as identified in here.
Yeah, thank you, as identified.
Well, that's in
think-
the next sentence.
Right, because then it comes in the.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
then I am good with this. I don't think there's any question, because this is saying valid,
Proof of residency identification.
yeah,
As identified herein.
Yeah.
For each member.
yes. Yeah, I think after one member of the household can provide valid residency as listed below, for all members. Or however we
For
want to
each
put it.
member, I think is what we said.
For each member, yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I know. Okay,
I would make a little change, but it's semantics. I would say only validated members age 15 and older will provide access cards. Proof of residency can include whatever, and then you can, and then one member of the household can provide it. This way, rather than start with,
I agree with you.
okay,
on that.
it's just an organizational
Yes,
thing.
yeah,
okay.
but it provides better clarity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Say it again?
We're gonna
It's
start
just
off with
changing the order of stuff.
only validated, so the sentence starts, only validated members age 15 and older will be provided a tech with access cards. Proof of residency shall include da-da-da-da-da-da. And then at the very end, one member of a household can
Well,
provide
not the two
residency.
different documents.
That's what's.
The one that she's included. So for instance,
I'm looking at the one online.
Yeah, let's just look at the one
I'm looking
online.
at the one
I
online.
didn't mean to confuse the
Yeah.
issue.
Right, well,
Only is the beginning.
Throw
of the
mine away.
sentence, Only validated members age 15 and older. will print. And then it continues, proof of residency. And then after proof of residency, it says one member of each household can provide valid residency
Yes.
for
Right.
each member. And so he just moved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just change
just shuffle it
the
around.
order structurally, just to make it,
And there are no exceptions to this requirement, period, end of conversation. Okay. All right,
Now, well, maybe we'll get to it, but let me ask it now. So people are providing this stuff, but my understanding is we're not keeping track of we shouldn't keep the content of the document provided, but we should know, did the Presarix provide, a mortgage or a license? Are we memorializing?
No, we look, anytime that there's a new resident or somebody comes in for we ask for those documents, look at them and hand them back to them.
So we're not.
We don't want to keep them because once,
No, but that's what I said.
Could
We
you-
don't want to keep the content, but we should know what
You
they.
want to check a box. or-
yeah, so
Yes,
in,
that's my
there's a
question.
note section, when you update it, we could put in there,
Utility bill
validated
provided.
utility bill, Sarasota County tax record, and then initial it
okay,
at the end. Because when I was doing that crossover stuff, any change that I made, I put in, and then I initialed it with a date. And then that way, anything that you see with a CMS on it, you knew was me. Mhm.
Where are you gonna keep that?
Yeah, online, in the TechWave system. There's a note section for each household. Yeah, so that would just be a manual process change that it's entered in as to what proof of identification was provided.
Let me know when we get to the issuance of RFID tags.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Ken's writing. It's like exam time.
Where are we now?
Page 2.
Okay. Issuance of RFID tags?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was a smidge confused, which is not hard to do. The second sentence from the item online reads, vehicle information must be updated for every vehicle that has an RFID tag. But what if it doesn't have an RFID tag?
I'm confused. Where are you?
Second sentence.
Well, then it doesn't have to be in our system.
Article 3.
Yes, Article 3. So RFID tags are issued by the CDD field office located at the River Club. Vehicle information must be updated for every vehicle that has an RFID tag. I don't even know what does that mean?
You can have a car at your house that doesn't have an RFID tag. To me, that's what that means.
Oh,
I could have a card that I just choose
Oh,
to
I
come in
see.
the resident gate,
Now
but
I
if you
get
have
it.
an RFID
Okay.
tag, the
Okay.
information has to be in the system.
okay, see, that's why I told you I'm easily confused.
Well, I have a question about the second sentence, because it can't always go under the side mirror. Like mine is not on the
That's
side
right.
mirror, it's on the windshield, because it's the only place it works.
So we should just say the tag needs to be adhered to the vehicle.
Well, if you're telling, then that is alluding that we're allowing them to put it on.
All right, so the tag will be applied by
That's exactly what it
CDD,
means.
that's the
Right, and
management.
you don't need to say where, it's just that
Yeah.
it's applied by.
Right.
CDC.
By
You're not gonna
CDD
hand it to
management.
people.
Right,
Right.
But the tag is adhered,
It says must be placed there by
right,
the
must be
CDD
placed
field
there
guide.
by the CDD.
All right.
field office.
Yeah, just take out the middle of
So
that.
take out the
sentence.
middle of the sentence, the
Yeah.
passenger side mirror, yeah. So this was also written to help Laura, right, or somebody who replaces
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah.
So basically, we're saying, don't ever give it out to the homeowner, right?
You walk out in the parking lot.
You walk out in the parking lot and slap that baby on, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And just a general question, does the SOP provide for an automatic sunset for tags on lessees so that it coincides with the lease?
Yeah, there should be something in here for the new leases.
Okay.
Under B on page 3.
Right, I got it.
Lessees.
Yeah, it
Okay.
should be,
We put an expiration date in the,
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
With an expiration coordinated with the lease end date.
yeah,
yes.
Okay, good.
And then employees are updated every year, which is good.
Yes.
and golf club members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
We're actually coming to that point.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't wanna have a bunch of people who can't get in.
And actually, we should also look, I mean, if there's time permitting, I mean, if we know employees are being let go, we should just,
Oh, we do. When they come down and tell us that they're no longer, we take them out. We don't wait.
good.
A question I had on page 4, if we're just sort of noodling through, new primary homeowner, new members need to obtain a new member River Club ID from the management office. Which management office? The SOP should say.
The River Club Management Office,
Okay, we
because
should-
they need to get that number before they can
Right.
go see Laura.
Okay, so that's a Ken thing. So that's C,
Got
yeah, you got it, okay.
Then right, E should say members 15 and older.
Correct.
Same thing in big D,
Okay.
little e, a little further down.
I appreciate all the work you've done on this, I really do. Do we call, it says membership application, is that really what it is?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's the attachment.
Yeah, no, I was wondering, is that the right verbiage? Okay, cool, hey, I'm good. So then,
Okay.
Oh, God, skipped late.
You know what I said it was gonna be quicker?
I thought this would be quicker.
No. I obviously didn't consult Belinda. Belinda knew it was gonna be bad.
So I have a question. We went on to the next tab, the SOP, but we never closed out the,
I wanted to keep it open because I felt
Even
some
for
of these
the
changes
SOP?
we're making
Yes,
in here,
okay.
Yes,
which should be done in the public hearing.
yes.
But when you're done with this, now we're ready to continue the public hearing if you're done.
So this is the SOP, which provides the new guidelines for what resident members and non-resident members need to provide to Keith and Laura to be able to get amenity cards and RFIDs.
Yeah.
So we just need to make sure that this then aligns with the rules, right? Okay. So what section is that in the rules?
And the rules, section, general rules, so page 3, actually page 4.
Okay.
Up at the top, it tells, after general rules, and it's member identification and member accounts.
Okay.
Which I think has to be aligned with any SOP changes.
Correct.
Recommendation access card shall be established. Procedure to obtain is administered by the River Club owner or designee. Obtaining an access card will require proof of residency at the Venetian address for each applicant or compliance with procedures as may be promulgated by the River Club owner.
And that's the way it's always been written.
Member identification access card within the River Club account number. So does this need to change?
This is where I'm a little bit confused because the access cards are granted by the CDD. They get their amenity number from the River Club. So the River Club management has to understand what's in the SOP. Because Keith and Laura are following the SOP, which is the CDD, and we need to make sure that whatever's in here is River Club management understands what, before they even give a number out, they should be saying, where's your proof of residency?
But that's a procedure and not a rule, isn't it? That's an SOP for them and not this rule.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, if they give them their number and they come down and see us and we ask, where's your documentation? They don't have it. We're not giving them a card.
Okay, so.
But they're being put in Jonas
Yeah.
up at the front desk without that information.
Correct.
So they just need to know that before they hand out a number, they need to have provided all this stuff that's in a
Right,
resume.
Correct.
So
that's
that's
the
the question.
sequence. It's the
procedural sequence.
Right, it's
Yeah,
that,
I'm not
we
sure
gotta
we need
close
to-
that loop.
Yeah, I'm not sure we need to
Okay,
memorialize it.
okay,
Not
Can
in
you
the
get-
rule.
I
can
just
you
wanna make
get
sure.
a River Club account number, ID number, whatever, and not bother to get an access card?
Or an RFID. You could.
But you
But
could,
I don't know why
but
you
you
would.
But
shouldn't.
the RFID, you don't need a River Club account number to get an RFID tag, do you?
No.
No,
No.
you need one to get an amenity card.
Right.
So, and this is where I think
But
we
I,
need to close.
but I don't have to get an amenity card.
No, but, agreed.
So
But
I'm just saying, I don't know that there's a problem here.
I think there is because, I live in Fiore and I walk in and I say, I want access, I want a Jonas River Club amenity or River Club number. I don't need a card, I don't need an RFID.
Well,
but
but you have to be a resident.
What, and that's, I guess, my point
Well,
is
that's a
that
different procedure.
that needs to be communicated then to River Club management. It needs to be communicated to Hampton that they're not supposed to give out a number.
So they know that all
But that's the SOP and not.
Right,
That's,
right, agreed.
that's a different, that's
Yeah.
a different
And,
procedure.
and you're right, and I'm trying to just close the
But
loop in
why-
my head.
God, I would hope they would,
Mhm.
but maybe they don't.
Well,
I don't know.
I can give you an
Why would you give a
example.
river card number to
I
a
mean-
non-resident?
One time, I think it was before we transitioned to Hampton, but I think it was Stephanie. And she set it up, but then said, I can't finalize this and give you the card until you go and see Keith and Laura, or it might have been Leanne, might have even still been here. But, and then come back to me, and then once you have that,
So
I
there,
can give you, but that had nothing to do with the rules, it was sort of a
right,
procedure.
okay.
So we don't need to change this.
I don't think we
Paragraph.
need to change the paragraph, no, I think this is good.
Because I think actually, why I like the paragraph in the rules, the way it's written, is it allows the latitude and flexibility if the SOP changes.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's clear that they need to, the member needs to prove the residency here at the Venetian.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so then where I think this leaves us with the rules is we would continue it, and just to recap, the only items we need to continue is I will just double check on this gratuity fee stuff, Greg is okay with the way we wrote it, and then you're gonna get to
And-
Matt Litterman.
I'm gonna get to Matt, yes.
So is the intent to adopt the other stuff today or just continue everything?
I think we should just continue everything. 3
Otherwise-
weeks is
Cheryl, we're
not
gonna
gonna
get
make a
confused
difference.
again, because it's
Yeah.
not gonna get posted in the post.
Right,
That's
I would
what-
leave it
Yeah,
open.
That's what I'm asking.
It's more
Yeah.
confusion for 3 weeks, I don't think it matters.
And I wanna say, Belinda, the resolution still has the November dates in it, so when we come back in January, let's fix that. So then what we'll be looking for is a motion to continue the public hearing until January 12th at 9:30 at this location.
I will make that
It's a 12,
motion.
just check.
I second.
Second.
I think it's the 12th, that's what Belinda
It is,
said.
It
It is
is
the
12.
12th.
I always
I said the
say
8th
whatever
before, and I
Belinda
think I
said.
confused you.
No, that's so easily done.
Because I had, yeah, I had the 8th. and
All those in
the 12th.
favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay, so then what I'll do procedurally is I will, assuming you guys don't need to see it yet, again, I will send the edited red line to Zachary for inclusion for the January 12th meeting. But won't circulate it separately unless you feel, any of you feels you want a Word version of it.
No.
Okay.
so I would also like to add an agenda item then to the 12th meeting, which is the discussion of the residency affidavits, once those rules are finalized. Because
We don't have an affidavit.
I would think it goes away.
No, we took it out. It
Oh, but
goes
you mean
away.
the ones that were executed?
the ones that were executed,
Oh.
the ones that are executed, I want to have,
those.
what to do about these because they have no end dates on them. We don't know if people are still living in these homes this way. I just want to have a conversation about it, okay?
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought we had told all those people that they weren't valid.
Did we tell them that
No.
yet?
I don't think.
No,
I don't think we did.
misunderstood.
No, I haven't been given specific direction to go do that yet.
Do we want to wait until we finalize all of our rules and
I would
everything?
wait,
Yes.
I would wait.
So
Yes.
let's make it an agenda item if we can.
Well,
Yes, yes, that was, okay, perfect, awesome.
And I really look forward to those phone calls,
Sitting right by you.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to.
as much as I would like to.
Ken's busy
Thanks,
that
Ken. Ken's taught me how to say no, as much as I
Okay, so then we're gonna move into item number 6F, which is the discussion regarding the monetary threshold for disbursement of funds without prior board approval. This is behind tab number
Yes.
5.
Okay, so I think this is gonna be a quickie. Oh, now you all you doubters. But this thing actually is 10 years old. Do we just simply jack the number up, and what are you comfortable with? I think we really were,
What was wrong with it?
it's very low. I mean, the GM
Yeah.
has to come find me for anything $1,000 or more, for sure.
Only if it's, I thought, non-continuing, non-budgetary.
Mhm.
So any non-budget item
$1,000 is really low.
for non-budget item.
Yeah, well, but, so does a plumbing leak, is that a budgeted item or not?
Maintenance, normal maintenance,
Okay.
That's a repair. For me, that's
Okay.
budgeted.
to repair. and
Mhm.
maintenance.
Okay,
I think we need to, yeah,
This was supposed to be for like really unusual.
So this would have been like for
Okay.
things like, and I'm just gonna use the old management company as an example. The manager going out and buying new tables for the pool area
okay.
and then spending over $1,000, right? Is that what this was intended for? That kind of expense?
That's-
Like something that was
But that's a non-
budgeted,
That's a non-recurring,
recurring,
non-budgeted item.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. I
because
think,
we want to make sure they go out and get bids and
Mhm.
do it properly.
okay,
Okay, so even if it's, so, but, okay, let's say that when the pool heater broke down,
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
okay,
Yeah.
is what's that, you know, it's in the budget,
Well, that's
Well-
not in the budget. If it's a reserve item,
well, it's in the reserve, it's in the reserve.
but that's not budgeted.
It's not
It's
budgeted,
okay.
It's a
it's a
different.
non-recurring expense.
Okay,
yeah,
so, okay, so the pool heater breaks down,
that's reserves. That would require them to come down.
Shouldn't wait
so,
or comply with what.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, so it's $4,000.
Non-continuing expense, not a continuing expense.
Okay, so it's $4,000 to do that. we have to wait to have a meeting to get that, or 5,000?
No,
Go to
no,
jail.
You can
Yeah.
set it, or I can set it.
5,000, so let's say it's 50.
Well, it's up to, I think it's up to 10
It's up to
if it's like, you
On an
know.
emergency that gets gratified
Yeah.
subsequently.
I'm okay with these numbers.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I read it, I didn't have a problem.
okay.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
they're good. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I'll
we're
just make
talking
sure.
non-continuing,
all right.
non-budgeted.
Okay,
These would, like,
Okay.
these are exceptions to the rule, I think.
okay. I'll talk
Has he
with-
seen this? I just wanna know.
He has, you know, he's literally been drinking from a fire hose, so I'll go over it with him again.
Maybe if he sees it and he understands it, he'll
Yeah.
have a better understanding.
Sure.
Yeah, if we understand exactly what, not continuing, non-budgeted. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Sure, okay, no problem. All right, so we're gonna just close this site. Okay. Okay, advisory committee members.
Well, actually, so there's one other item,
Oh,
the discussion of the parameters of what constitutes the River Club for members only. Is
wait,
that-
wait,
Oh.
no, this is way ahead of that.
We're
How about G?
I'm
Six
sorry.
G.
First.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought she said,
All right.
No, so we're gonna move into item number 6G, which is the appointment of the
Oh,
advisory
I'm sorry.
committee members for 2026.
I thought you said something else. I
No worries.
apologize. I apologize, my
I
mistake.
think we'll live.
Yep, all good.
Okay, so, do we just go down the list?
Sure, let's do it.
Can we do it in one motion? Starting
Yeah,
by committee,
let's
first
just
reading
do
and
it.
review?
Well, we got some conversation on something.
Sure,
Probably.
but on the appointments, we can just do per committee,
Yeah.
one motion.
Let me get to my table first. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, well, do you want me to start since I'm busy yapping?
Go for it.
So I have 3 vacancies. We had one person who's not, who's her, well, there's three expired terms. One of the folks has asked to re-up, that's Darlene Schimberg. I had a total of 6 applications for 3 spots. So, I would like to re-up Darlene. It would be her first time re-upping, Darlene Schimberg. The second person I would like to put on is Charlotte George, who applied. Charlotte is a realtor. She's fairly new in here. We had quite an extensive, she's year-round. We had quite an extensive discussion, and she did participate in the LaSalle work group. So I think she's really got a lot to contribute. And then the third, I would like to ask Barbara Bracco. Again, I had a great conversation with Barbara, and I think one of the things I appreciated with her is that, you know, she brings, they've lived here a long time, and I think she has her feet in both camps. She likes some of the traditional stuff, but she also sees the need for some new stuff. So I think that gives us a good representation. So those are the 3. It would be Darlene, Barbara Bracco, and Charlotte George for social and dining.
And just for the record, Linda Catero,
She withdrew. Yep, Linda
Okay.
withdrew.
Okay.
Yeah, Linda withdrew.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah,
She what?
she withdrew.
she withdrew her intent.
Yeah, and I had a great conversation with Steve. I tried to connect with Steve Thomason because he applied. I tried to connect with Joanne Mouse, but it didn't work out. And anyway, so yeah, so that's what I came with them. I think they'll be good contributors.
No reason to deny.
Who's next on that list?
Let's see. Well, actually, facilities is at the top. So
Okay, all right, so we have 2 openings. We had 2.5. 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
One of the current people submitted his intent, but he ignored the fact that you had to reapply with your resume and qualifications and all that. But regardless of that, so it's Tim, Carr is up, and Bob Bravado is up. Bob is the one who did not provide that. Bob, the problem with Bob is he's very knowledgeable. I like Bob a lot, but he's not here enough. He's here maybe 4 meetings a year tops. And for facilities, which is really intensive to be at the facility, it puts a big burden on us, especially in the summertime when other people want to go on vacation. We keep missing quorums. It happened last year, it happened this year. So we had one of the resident, Doug Schwartz, who applied, so I'd like to nominate Doug Schwartz and Tim Carr to re-up.
Is Doug here around?
Yes, Doug moved here, he's full-time, which is why we picked that, and actually Juliet, who joined the committee last year, she was part-time, but she will be here full-time coming up shortly too.
Great.
So we need to really reinforce that full-time aspect, especially, I mean, finance is different, you're looking at a spreadsheet and.
You guys take roles, don't
Yeah.
you? Roles.
Yeah, we took roles, we look around, we walk around, we meet with vendors, you have to view stuff, and if you're not here, you can't see things physically. And as much as I appreciate Bob, for a great amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
I hope he will still participate with that knowledge,
Yeah.
but we need people here physically who can actually help.
He's been very valuable on the summer work group, extremely valuable on the summer, so, which is not an advisory committee, to be clear. Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it. Fitness and pool?
Okay, can I borrow this?
Oh, yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, because I didn't print it
Go
out.
ahead.
Oops, sorry. Okay, so from a fitness and pool perspective, we had a lot of great candidates, and now that I'm looking at this, I am seeing, we replaced Chris Morton with Connie Waring. She was after Chris stepped down. Yeah, so this was a little bit on the old side. So the only individual that pardon?
How many openings do you have?
We have one opening. And it's Nancy Spakowski, yeah. And
Get rid of her.
she re-upped.
You're only saying that because she's not here.
Right, exactly, you're safe. So I would like to recommend Nancy, to re-up and allow her to participate another couple of years. But what I also would like to do is I would like to add a non-voting member to the committee to be able to start to transition, because I'm going to lose a lot of people next year. And so I want to also possibly, if this works out for everybody, nominate Chuck Schultz as the non-voting
Charles
member.
Schultz?
Okay, can we get some advice on this though, because I have the same issue and I want to add a
You
non.
can't do it?
The
For our
issue would
charter?
be that they would have to have an email, and they're not
Okay,
part of the committee.
okay,
So
then.
just tell them to come to the meeting.
Just come to the
But-
meeting.
but
That's
only-
suggested.
So the question is, normally outside people can only participate during public comment. They can participate in the whole meeting? Is that okay?
If
Is
you
that
allow them,
okay?
You choose them,
Sure.
you're around them,
Yeah.
but,
Okay, okay.
but I
All
think
right,
it
I
opens
just
the
wanna
door
check.
a little bit, because the other people sitting there are gonna be like, well,
That's okay.
I wanna
I'm
participate.
okay with that.
There's not that many.
I can
people
control that.
just manage
Yeah,
it.
All
nobody
right.
comes to these.
All right, so
Nobody comes to my meeting anyways.
So for right now, I'm gonna,
Yeah, I know.
Nancy
I don't
Spakowski
like this idea, but-
is my
Okay.
pick. And then I'm gonna head down to Racket Sports and then I'll be done. We had one opening, we had a lot of people, want to join. However, the majority of them are strictly tennis players, and the individual that is up, Karen Wilson, is a strict pickleball player. And so for me to have a nice balance on the committee, I would like to re-up Karen Wilson as the RSAC member. But everybody, I'm telling you, everybody I talked to across both committees, very qualified. And I want to reach out to these people and remind them that at the end of next year, please do not forget about us, because I'm going to be losing a
Oh,
lot of positions.
absolutely,
I think that's really important,
Yeah.
because the people that I had were great. I would have picked anyone of them.
Landscape?
Reserve, well, yeah, because why is it landscape? Oh, yeah, we skipped you. Sorry,
Right.
once again.
That was me, because I was.
Yeah, she did it.
Landscape committee, I have 3 people who are going off, Barbara Bracco, Lynn Matson, and Harry Wildman. All 3 have filed their desire to re-up. They're all valuable members, and so no need to decline, so I would like to re-up all 3 of them. And then the 2 other people who applied, I would like to offer them the same thing, because I'm gonna lose at least 2 of these next year, I know.
Can you say the name after Lynn? I didn't catch that one.
Harry Wildman. And the other 2 I will just do as invited
Yes.
guests.
Yeah, I will do the same thing with Chuck.
Yeah, like I said, I went to the facilities committee and just understand, and within a couple of meetings, Mark Kissinger was the chairman, and he said,
Right.
Rich, what do you think?
Yeah.
Because I was, and
Yeah, so then
and that's how I got involved.
So then what you're, just so I'm clear, what you're saying is, like, for example, maybe one of the three only wants to serve one more year.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
And because of what's going on, and everything, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. I'm a little slow.
So I would, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So I have two other interested parties in landscape, which I think is really cool, and I would like to, I'm gonna invite
Yeah.
them both.
Yeah.
to
Yes,
say,
just please come
just participate in the meetings,
Great.
and then next year, I'm sure there'll be enough.
And that's what I'm gonna end up doing with Chuck. Because I also have one of my members who's not there consistently, so there's that issue
There
as
you go.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
So that
That leaves you, Ken.
That leaves me, so I guess I have one opening because Jerry Jasper resigned. His term wasn't up.
Yeah.
But is that considered one of these openings, or does his term get filled by the committee?
Typically what we've done in
Maybe
the
something.
past is that, whoever you appoint would complete his term. Not that you would give them a new term.
Right, so
So you just be.
we could appoint somebody to fulfill his remaining year.
Yeah.
Because we had one, just so you know, and I mentioned it in the workshop, I think, we had one person express interest. I know Dan, he's qualified, certainly from his background. He's never come to a meeting, he's never come to these meetings. I think it's good that he's showing an interest, but he's a 7-month resident, and we already have quorum problems in the summer, getting meetings together. So I had asked Mark, let's see if we can find somebody who's a year-round resident. He was gonna check with a couple of people, and I haven't heard back from him yet. So what you're saying is if we find somebody, we can appoint them to fill Jerry's remaining.
And it just needs a vote?
So all five people in the committee all expire the same year?
No, it's,
The terms were longer.
the terms were longer for one period because the former charter was written that way.
Okay.
We've since changed the charter, but people are grandfathered to fulfill their current term.
Got it.
And then they'll be on a rotating basis.
All right. Yeah, because we wouldn't want to lose everybody
So,
in 1
so
year.
we'll just proceed to appoint somebody.
When you're ready.
Yeah, and maybe it'll be Dan, and I'll talk to Dan, I know him. But I'll see what Mark wants to do as chair.
That's right.
So we'll leave that open for now.
Okay.
So then, yes, I think now we can do one motion to appoint the committee members as presented.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second. Give it the shovel.
It doesn't matter.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
So subcommittees also have to have a physical quorum. It can't be a quorum. I know we have to be physical, but the committees themselves can have to be physical quorum as well.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
So on this, just for clarification, supervisors, they won't have, the new candidates won't have access to their emails until the term expires for the existing candidate. So please let them know, because what'll happen is we'll start getting emails asking for email access. We don't want to shut off email to the existing members until their term is up.
Which is officially when?
At the end of the
Calendar year.
Yeah.
Okay.
January 1st.
Right.
So then Zach will start working on emails for the new committee members and, once their terms are up.
Do you need us to send you their civilian emails?
I have them
You do,
because
okay.
they reached out to me. So
Okay.
typically when the intents come in, I save everything in a separate folder.
Okay.
So that we
Oh,
have
all
access
right.
to all of
Okay,
them.
fair enough. I wasn't sure if you had everybody. Excellent. Okay.
All right. So now we're going to, move into item number I, which is the consideration of the soft, did I skip H?
Or deferred.
Okay, that's deferred.
Yes, deferred.
Okay, so we're moving into the,
Servers were skipped.
Oh,
the I, which is the
Yes.
consideration of the soft proposals for Laurel Road.
Okay, we talked about this in the workshop at the last meeting. I put it on the agenda. These are two areas of sod on Laurel Road. One is, not two areas, but two sections. One is, first of all, let me start over. Juniper is gonna do the sod for anywhere that they disrupted. They will redo that sod and fix it pretty up into their border. There are some sections of sod on Laurel Road that actually have so much Florida snow weed that it's not savable. And so it just happens as time goes, but they are actually in a place that they can pitch them so they won't get that weeding and replace the sod. That's the one that is for $20,196. Okay, I'm sorry, no, second one. $29,248. So $30,000 basically to replace the sod that looks really terrible along Laurel Road. The second one at $20,196 is for the Medici berm. When you walk the Medici berm, which we did, it's really ugly. And part of the problem is that the dirt is just everywhere and it's moving, and even when we plant stuff, it moves around. They've proposed to put in this Baha'i sod, which is very inexpensive compared to the other sod, but it will actually hold everything in place on the berm. And then as we do plantings, it should actually start to look more lush and look better as we move forward.
That sod was disrupted during the 3 hurricanes that we've had, and all the
Yes.
trees that came down, and the machinery that was up in there tearing all of that out,
So this would be part of the hurricane fund because
Okay.
it's all that replacement, but it's a total of a little over $50,000.
I get one question.
Yeah.
Why, when Juniper gave us the quote to do the work on Laurel in the first place, why was not that part of it?
Because they didn't know that they were gonna have to do sod. They were just doing plantings. And the only sod they did was actually gratis to us because we said, you gotta figure out a way to do sod in some of the areas that they disrupted when they did the plantings. They did it, so they put that sod in. We had never considered sod when the architectural renderings were done because that was not a part of what we asked them to do. Never even thought of it actually until this was all done and we did another walkthrough and said it needs to be fixed.
Something they should have mentioned. I mean, it would have been nice to have known that. I mean, I guess.
We now know, but
Close, yeah.
we now know for future. But for this one, nobody, not even anybody on the landscape committee thought of it because we didn't realize how far the plantings were coming down or what was gonna get disrupted.
I guess you get
Did we only get the one quote?
Yeah, because they would be doing the sod. We don't actually, do we have any other vendors that just do sod for us? I think we've always used our landscape.
no, we've used other company for sod.
So we can look at that, yeah. We can get another bid for this. We aren't gonna do anything until the irrigation's done anyway, so we have time. So we'll get another bid for this. Okay, thank you.
And I know we kind of spoke about this a little bit. The circle is a mess, it's all weeded, and I know they gave us some stuff gratis or whatever, but I still don't know how we let them get away with a $13,000 for LMP, to replace the side is like $13,000 in the circle. I don't know how, wasn't it $13,000 to replace the side?
No, I don't think we ever even got a sod. We never got a bid.
No, we never got, but I'm saying, but in the new proposal, it talked about sod for like $13,000 in that circle, I think.
Oh, you mean in the thing he's redoing
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah, so I mean, why, I don't know why we never got that cleaned up and fixed, and we just, because they killed it and the weeds grew. So it's not grass, it was grass, it's not weeds.
It's kind of like back here.
Yeah. But, so what are we doing about that? I mean, it's something that we should, I just don't feel right leaving that and then paying for it.
I don't know what kind of recourse we have now. I can look at that, but that was, all of those reasons were the reason we got, what value would you put on the sod that they already put in, Keith? I mean, they did the whole west side.
As much as what you've got right there
I
in
think they
bids.
did 50,000 of sod for us for free. So they did that whole west side from the entrance down. That sod didn't cost us a penny.
Okay,
And so I used all of that other stuff as leverage to say,
all right.
you better show your good faith for everything that's happened by doing this side for free, and they did.
Okay.
So I just want to remind you of that because.
No, I also want it on the
record.
record, I want it on the
Yeah.
record, so.
Okay.
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 So now we're gonna move into item number K, which is discussion regarding the River Club member only accessible property.
So I remember we had a conversation, but I'm not sure what you want to cover today.
Okay, so basically, Andy and I had a conversation, just trying to understand this. I know we're talking about golf carts and stickers and whatever, so I kind of said, well, what is the limitation of the River Club? You know, is it members only? Does it start at, right by the circle? Does it start in the building? Is it the parking lot? And because if we wanted to start enforcing stickers and whatever, we can do that by making, you know, I can't force you to have a sticker on a golf cart if you're driving down the street, but if you don't have a sticker on the golf cart, it doesn't traffic. So it creates a difference. So that was my question.
Right, and I think that the parking lot needs to be treated a little bit differently than the club. Like you said, can someone come in, anyone off the street come in, jump in the pool? No. But in terms of, can we stop them from stopping in the parking lot to walk in and get information about the Venetian or something like that? We can't, really. We can't say you have to have a sticker on your car to park in that parking lot if all they're doing is coming in to get information for, as a realtor or something like that. But they can't jump in the pool.
So where does, so what?
So we clearly own that property. It is clearly public, and we can put certain restrictions on it, like, no overnight parking like we have and things along those lines. But during the day or whatever, it does, or if someone's coming for a party, it takes on different capacities.
So it's kind of a by circumstance.
It is for the parking lot. Now, the tennis courts, again, if you're here for a party, for a private party, a wedding, I know we don't do weddings anymore, but it doesn't mean you get to go play tennis on the tennis court, but you can park in the parking lot.
So that would apply to this back gate over here going onto the boardwalk, because that gate brings you into the River Club.
The boardwalk is owned by the MP, by
Correct.
the POA.
But there's a gate that makes the distinction between the boardwalk
We
and
don't
then the River
necessarily
Club.
have to allow that to be open to everybody, because there's other ways to get in.
Correct.
Correct.
So we could ask the POA to reactivate that gate, so you need an access card to get into, but leave that gate open.
Yeah.
Why leave that gate open?
Oh, because it goes through the
They
parking lot.
have to leave that.
Because it goes
gate
through the
open.
parking lot,
You
right?
just go through the
Right, so
dumpster
people can
gate.
go, right, so people can come in for the POA at the boardwalk here, but we can restrict the access to come in from the boardwalk and make it access, okay.
Yeah, we can ask them. to do
Can we
that.
ask them to do
People
that?
coming in.
Yeah,
Oh, are they?
I saw somebody come in the
Yeah.
other day when I was walking the dog.
Can't always ask
Yeah,
if
they
it's a
get there.
problem.
I know,
They
can
get
you
on
ever
board.
get out this way? I don't think
But are they
that.
residents?
Oh, I don't
A
know.
non-residents coming, what's the problem we're trying to fix here?
The problem we're trying to fix is the non-residents coming in. It just stops, if people are getting in, all right, let's just think about this. If people are using the kayak launch and coming up and using our nature preserve, which is the POA property, I want to make sure that they just don't have free access to our river club.
They come in and jump in the pool.
Yeah, exactly.
They come in carrying a fishing pole.
They come in very fishing pole.
And they're
Yeah,
gonna fish
looking
in
at-
the pool.
and They fish in the pool. Yeah, no, the POA had turned it off. And I get why they did, because it was a concern that if somebody got stuck in
Right.
there, it would be an issue.
Right.
But as long as one of them is open, I don't see why we have to keep that one open.
I don't.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your conversation,
That's
Rich.
fine, that's
Okay.
fine.
part of the conversation.
That's what comes, and I still don't understand how they can't have a lock that powers open, that turns off and opens when power goes out.
I know, but that's
Because,
another conversation.
I mean,
yes.
every fire, every
So
building.
am I having put this one back in or no?
Yes.
Okay, please, got it. Just want to make sure it's not going to change.
Volunteering for things, I
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
that's just, I
I
have
know.
to, no.
I'm so glad you took over that liaison
Yeah,
role.
other people.
You trapped her into it.
I wonder why you had such a big smile on your face.
Well, you got pool and
I
tennis,
got
so,
pool and tennis,
You
yes.
did, yeah, you do have full
Yes.
Payback.
so you got your hands full.
So anyways, okay, so the parking lot's basically open, the building itself is open, but they cannot use our amenities.
Correct, unless of course they purchase a membership.
Okay.
So why can't that one be locked?
Because people got trapped in there when the power went out and somebody was trying to climb over the fence and they were like in their 80s and it was not a good thing. Yeah, they haven't figured that part out.
Okay. So moving on, we now have item number 7A, which is the consideration of the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting held on December 8th, 2025. These are behind tab number 8 for your review.
I had two
I had-
comments.
And I had a comment.
On page 5, line 229, continuing the public hearing to December 22nd at the River Club at 9:30. And then also on line 247, it says the board agreed to defer this item as opposed to differ. That's it, that's all I have. Thanks.
Cindy?
And I had lines 68 and 60, 69. It was, it should have been, well, actually 68 should have been fitness and pool advisory committee. And then line 69, Nancy Spakowski, there's no first W there. So that should be fitness and pool, and then Nancy Spakowski.
Okay. Any other changes? If there are no further changes, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the minutes with changes as noted on the record.
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on, we now are going to move into the consent items. There are 2 sets of minutes for board's acceptance. If there are no questions, we'd be looking for a motion to accept.
I move to accept them.
Second by Ken.
Second.
Is that Cindy? Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Advisory committee liaison reports, are there any reports?
Do we still need that since we have the committees reporting now?
Yeah, I think we're pretty.
I think we're
I think we're
good, yeah.
good.
We probably could take it out.
I think we could take it out for future meetings because we can always tag on to the,
We can add it on
Supervisor.
supervisor comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I have a comment.
I have a comment.
And I got some comments, but not necessarily my committee, but I've got a comment. Go.
Supervisor comment. One, just a question. You know, we keep having the gates being knocked into at the entrance.
I've got stop signs coming with they're supposed to be here
Is there a
today.
reason we can't move the sensor back to the speed bump? I mean, because I think what happens is they hit the speed bump, that sensor is so close to the gate that by the time it reads it, you have to kind of step on the brakes again before the gate opens. If that sensor reader was back even 5 feet, then you might have enough room.
That's not a
I'm just
small
asking.
job.
I'm just asking.
You gotta tear up all those pavers, and then where it's asphalt, you have to tear all that up.
But
And
it's
then,
not on the pavers, it's on the grass.
no,
It's under the.
It's under the pavers.
You can't just take the wiring from where it is back 5 feet? I know it seems simplistic, I'm just asking because I think it's stopping from getting hit so many
yeah,
times.
we'll ask.
I mean, you would stop it from getting hit?
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
It's easy to move the speed bump. It may be very, it may be. It may be okay, easy enough to do.
Any other supervisor requests or comments?
I just wanted to mention, the CapEx procedure is now in effect. I'll meet with Greg, because I know he was gone last week, to make sure he's up to speed with it. And Keith, I'm sure is, on Rosetta projects. So it would be great if we could go back and capture things from October 1st, but that may not be practical. And then I think you all are aware of it, Mark didn't copy me, but hopefully Mark got to all of the committee chairs about reserve items.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a joint meeting on the 26th to talk to each of the committees,
Okay.
January 26th.
I told him I didn't think any social and dining was sort of necessarily, yeah,
That's fine.
just so you know.
But I think most of the other committees.
Yeah.
So you've invited all the other committee chairs?
Good, that legal.
Yeah, no, I'm just
That's
asking,
fine.
because I want to make sure that Joe shows up, because
It's a workshop.
there's a couple of things, yeah.
And I've got, you done, Ken?
Yeah.
And I've just got a comment on the CapEx form.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned, I was thinking, and I actually was talking to Byron, because I couldn't talk to you. And I had mentioned this kind of, when I first joined, I think we should take all of those expenses and all those things and put them on some kind of spreadsheet that get put on the server.
I've done that.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
Okay, I can get them to people. We have an Excel version of the reserve study, so we can go in and put amounts in for that very reason.
It's be good to know rather than having, go through 500 pages.
Yeah,
of that book 3 years from now. When
I
nobody.
took all of this last year and identified it by line item, which reserve, and I can go in and update the sheets.
And it looks like
Because we want them for the reserve study anyway, to make sure that they've got them updated.
Yeah, because I just, I know we struggled going back, what was done 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and.
No, I have 23, 24, and 25.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Okay, perfect. We should do that for all expenses, or I guess that most of them are capital. Yes, I guess that's fine. But yeah, it'd be good to have that done.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
thank you.
Well, I'll go last. I wanted to let Belinda know, in our workshop, I raised the question about doing the, if you may recall, we did like a one-page performance thing for Rosetta, and in the workshop, we talked about asking if we could have Luciano and or Chico come to the January 12th meeting, just to, that way we can just do it since we haven't seen them. So is that something I would do, or is it better if you do it, or should I email them and copy you?
I'll include him in the, in the recap of the meeting.
Okay.
But I'll also send him a Teams message so he's
You will?
aware that you guys want him present.
Okay.
So he can attend.
Okay, great, perfect, that'd be great. And then, the last thing I wanted to say is I want to thank all of you, that's my fellow supervisors and staff. It has not been an easy year for me, and you were all incredibly supportive, and honestly, that's part of the reason why I think I did so well, is because I have a good support network, and that guy, you and I talked a lot, didn't we? Because his wife's been through it. So I just wanted to say thank you, because it made a difference for me, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an amazing year. We have gotten so much accomplished. I mean, when I think of that list, we've done a lot.
We have.
It's been
And
very
people
impressive.
know it.
And people know it. I mean, this tells me people know it. I mean, the numbers are shrinking here, which means we're doing the right thing, the public.
Yeah, people, there's no average.
Right, exactly.
One thing, Joe, I didn't get a copy. I don't think the financials were sent to Vanessa. So are we
Oh, well,
using?
I was gonna ask about that. I didn't see her on the distribution.
No, and I didn't get it either. I double checked. So are we gonna use those statements or not? She's on vacation.
I know, she and I talked about that.
So-
Why don't,
Sorry.
Are there gonna be any
I was gonna
changes?
say, I've got a lot of questions.
You've got time because she's.
It almost looked like there were, some of the benefit amounts.
Yeah, that was
weren't
wrong.
there.
I feel like those numbers were low.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what?
Several numbers.
I think that was low because a lot of people started, there's a transition
Yeah, no,
period when they don't.
But that's why the salaries themselves were low.
Yes, oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't get excited about that they showed a profit
No.
above
No, I
budget.
just
for
like
the
the
year. It was
format.
all in salaries and benefits.
Right.
Well, benefits should go down because obviously it's not the burden anymore.
Right,
It's true pass-throughs.
Yeah, but I want to check on that. I just had a bunch of questions.
Do you want to tell them then to,
And we were
you know,
short
include
staffed, so
Belinda
salaries
and-
are down too.
So then what I think we'll do,
Candace, we'll wait until you have your meeting,
I'm hoping to meet with Greg tomorrow.
just in case there's any changes that need to be made,
That's-
and then whatever's agreed upon can be resent, so that Vanessa can start when she gets back working on the financials. 'cause
Yeah, I figured she would know.
we're behind. Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty then. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'm supposed to wait for you, Linda?
Yeah, you're ahead, that's great.
Is there a second?
Happy holidays, happy New Year.
I did. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.